Mm. Oogie. Oogie. Everything looks good. I feel good. I feel decently good. All right. All right. What is up, everyone? This is Coffee with Soul. I'm your host. Hold on. No, we gotta get started. Hold on. Oh, so good. Now we're gonna chat. We're gonna talk. I'm thinking. Nope. That was a brain fart. We're gonna chat. We're gonna talk. We have we have 5 more visits to do over on the U.S. side. I'm actually pretty astonished. The queue filled out really fast this time around, and I'm very pleased about it. Not only did it fill fast, but out of the 15 folks who had signed up, 8 of them are from the EU, which means for the first time there are more folks that signed up from the EU than the US. So y'all gotta step up your game, buddies. No, but that's awesome news. And now I know I put out some social media thingamajigs, and I was just straight up saying in chat, "Hey, I want more, EU folks signing up." Blah blah blah. So there was that for sure. But knowing that I just blew that milestone away, I was like, "Yo, I just want 5. Give me 5 people. That's cool." But then we got 8, so that's fantastic. So I'm looking forward to having us have like plenty of ammunition going into Tuesday with what is likely to be extended downtime, and so folks like us on the US who are like seeding and waiting for like stuff to happen, we'll have an opportunity to entertain ourselves with what's going on the other side with like housing and all that good stuff. There's gonna be like things going on too. I don't know. Let's see, when does the current drops promo end? I think it ends not. Let's see, it ends on. Nope, that's the old one. Shoot, Void Myrtle, something like that. Here we go. Cuddly Void Gurgle. So that ends April 23rd. And so that's going to be another Thursday. I don't know. I don't think they've announced anything yet. I'm not sure if they had said, "Oh, they're going to do another Twitch drop, and it's going to be for a translucent Murgle." I don't know. That's they're totally like going through like every color in the rainbow. So we'll see what happens with that. That's gonna kind of suck too, because I'm like, oh crap, that means I'm going to have to deal with another like weirdly long stream on a Thursday or Friday or whatnot, and that's gonna punish my body. Oh boy. So next week could be a treat. We could have like lots of activity and things to do and stuff going on, so could be fun. Let's say hi to people. We got a healthy spattering of folks. Let's see. What's up to Dragon? You're the first person to say hi. I think he cheated actually. What's up to Ravens and the Panda and the Kale and the Boomer and Arcadias and the rest of y'all? Hey, see, nice and short. All the beautiful digital smiley faces are going to be joining us today. All the lurkers, hey, what's up? Double check, make sure, because it's going to end next week, that you did claim the Void Murgle person. And that you bought like 11 billion of them for you to enjoy. Now, something that I pointed out yesterday, and I'll point it out again, it is kind of funny that over here, the signposts that you can get from Maxing Out Professions, they're remarkably cheap. 5 gold if you want more of them. Now, why would you want more of them? That's not really the point. The point is, they're only 5 gold, so it's like, what could I do with these otherwise like pretty large signs? I'm sure that someone, somewhere, will think of something ridiculous and stupid to do with all these, knowing that it's just like really cheap to do. So like, some bonehead, like, if they had the stones to do it, please don't do this. if they cleared out all of their housing inventory, they cleared out like everything they had and just filled it up with this crap, what could they do with it? That's the question. Now, in fairness, you can kind of experiment with this a little bit. For a mere 250, you can just buy a whole bunch of those and then see what kind of stupid thing you can do with the exterior. You know? But as for what? I don't know. You can make a temple. You can make like a weird looking statue looking thing. I don't know. I don't know. It'd be dumb. Make a fence out of the, yeah, you can make a fence out of the signs here. Like, okay, I can't really do the rotations well here, but you know, it would be something like this, and then yeah, that's not gonna work. But yeah, it could be upright like that. It could be face down like this. It could be like this, right? You could just have a whole bunch of these signs that are just like chilling there, or maybe upside down, right? I mean, ideally, it would be kind of like the right side up sort of thing, but yeah. Sounds like a PTR idea? No, that's for cowards. I mean, 250 is not so bad, you know? It's what, you know, a little over $1,000, something like that. You know, a little over $1,000 in monies. And then 250 against whatever your housing budget is. Like, what's mine right now? I know mine's filled up with like all sorts of weird stuff. So I'm at 6254 out of 7500. So I got plenty of space if I wanted to do stupid stuff like that. Of course, like what's taking up most of the space are like what, beams, probably. So I have 233, 300 total, 30 total, 65, 5, yeah, 300 of that. That's a big bite out of the budget. And then I still have a whole bunch of the filigree lights. I have a total of 1157 of those. I still haven't got rid of that stuff. Oh well. All right, so as I kind of like warm myself up, I want to do like some crafting stuff, so y'all have to deal with me for a little bit. I just want to do stuff so I can like get some knowledge points right quick. So I'll get that one and not that. Okay, you know, maybe I'll get some of these because like some of these are like, you know, I get the cool little resource bag, and who knows what you can get from that. Sometimes you get like a nice little banger from that, but it's a little costly to go through ore and ingots and all that. And then okay, that one's good. So I'll pick up some stuff for that, and that is whatever, and this is, well, I'm doing this one, so cool. Oh, you got petrified root through the path? Yeah. Sometimes you get lotus, so it's a gamble though. Like I don't like. I'd say the petrified loot is the petrified root. Sorry, that's something to calculate in, or to kind of theory craft in. The nocturnal lotus though, not so much. That's pretty rare to get. I've only gotten like, I think I've gotten like one. Yeah, I haven't gotten a whole lot of those. All right, so what am I buying? I am buying, let's see. I need some dazzling thorium. I need 4 of that. I need 3 sterling. No, 7 sterling. Yeah, so some of these costs add up, but like for what you get from it, and if you respect for resourcefulness, like you're in a good spot. Like you're pretty chill. And then I need 7 gloaming, and then 1 silver moon, whatever it is called. One of these buddies, and that should be it. Too bad you can't bang your head on it and have it sway left and right. That'd be cool. That would be neat if it had like a little bit of an animated thing to it. I mean, we have like we have those drapes, which are pretty neat. I think it'd be cool to have the sign that did the whole swingy thing. That'd be sick. All right, so not that one. I think it was this one. Crazy how sometimes the spec or the knowledge points that appear, it can be like kind of schizo. Like sometimes I'll be in a drought for a good long while, and then all of a sudden, boom, I'll get like 6-7 points coming out of here. I'm like, oh, let's go. So I think that's that one. It was just those two. But now, let me check engineering. I saw a post the other day from someone who had showed off like their secret to like gold making in engineering, and the ship has sailed. Like you can't really do it anymore. But I did not realize this. But you were able to use like the whole recycling ability to turn rank 1 items into rank 2 items. Now specifically, you can recycle just whatever I think it was like cloth. It was rank 1 cloth. And then you can recycle it into a rank 2 reagent for engineering stuff. Because, some of the engineering, those mats are used for all sorts of small things, including like gear and some consumables and whatever. But they just did that. I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Do I want to do 10s next week so I can get the myth items? Now, one thing that I don't know, I did all the research that I need to do for the world content stuff, because that's the stuff that matters, and the mythic stuff is just for wussies. But I'm a wussy too. So one thing I don't know is how many of those tokens, those extra roll tokens, can I hold on to? Like, can I hold on to like a bajillion of them? Because if I can, then I'm just gonna be a lazy sack and be like, I'm just gonna do the ones. I'm just gonna do like bare minimum, something for the vaults, and like that's about it. That's the thought in mind. Didn't see a cat. Cool. This is my first day having no meds, by the way, so I'm feeling confident. We'll see how much I end up regretting that later. By the way, thanks to Odeddy for the big 5. Thank you so much for getting 5 subs. Appreciate it, dude. Pirates Pony once became common, sad to have the sad to end it. Yeah, like the post I saw, like dude was doing it in like mega bulk. So like I think I saw like the screenshots. Like he didn't pull anything out of his mailbox. He was just showing off like the whole month of like stuff that he's been collecting. It was a good haul. It was a good haul. Like you know millions. So good on that front. Yeah, if only I had detected that. Oh well. All right. Void core on 10s. I don't know what void core is, dude. I've done that in follower mode. And that was about it. That's all I know about most of those dungeons. Let's see, any other points? Come on, point. Yay, points. Yeah, so right now, so I haven't even been doing any skinning lately. I have a feeling that market just kind of fell off, but I know I still have like a bunch of traps, so I'll want to at least go through like whatever remaining stock I have and be like, all right, cool, that's it. Engineering's pretty good for getting these payouts though. Like the materials that are used for these, they're like, way cheap. Not all of them, most of them. If I need sprockets and whatever, I'm like, oh man. But then like most of the time, a lot of that stuff's provided. So I'm like, oh, freebie. Yeah, that's the... Okay, that's cool. That works for me. Highs under 10k. Oh, it's only under 10k? Oh, I thought I saw it like super dipped. Let me see real quick. Yeah, so look at all that knowledge that suddenly came out. Okay, so hide. Oh, it's still good. Fuck. Now I've been missing out. Shoot, I let a good couple $100 just kind of like slip through my fingers. Oh well. Yeah, I guess I'll do them tonight. Cool. Any Lotus? Nope, no Lotus there. Doesn't matter how unprofitable it is, I'll never. Oh yeah, for me, like engineering is just part of this dude's character. You know what I mean? Like, it's still an RPG. I love having this guy as a blacksmith and an engineer. I don't think I ever want to change that. Like, I don't want to pick up a gathering profession or something like that. I'm like, I don't gather. Not seriously. Like, I'll dip my toe into it real quick and then dip right out. My least favorite profession is engineering because of the hardest levels experience. Oh, was it? It was cake. Now, I didn't. It took me a while to actually max out. But once I got started, like, and I got to a certain point, I'm like, all right, cool, I'm good. Like, you only need to get like so far. That's kind of a common myth with a lot of folks who are like, oh, some professions complicated, you know, grind level and blah blah blah. Like, you can chill. You don't gotta rush it. Unless you are one of them goblins, then you don't care because you're just gonna do it anyway, knowing, because you know those folks have already calculated, okay, here's how I'm gonna come up. And so for that, that's not really, it's more like it's like a fake news complaint. Like, they're complaining, but they're also like making bajillions in the market. So it's like, if anything, what they're doing, they're saying that to discourage other people from getting into the markets. That way they can stay on top. So boom, there's big crafting for you. That's the plan. All right, do I want to do anything with these points? 14 points. I would be on my way to like maxing out like this thing so I can like achieve the masteries and stuff. You know what? Sure. Why not? Just I'll commit. Boom, did it. And then that's the third one, right? Yeah. So now I get that one, and then now I have that recipe and go me, and maybe someday I'll do something with that. It's a little annoying. You got to go down the recycle spec to get recipes. You just get. I mean, in this case, you just got cloth, and that's it. The recipes that you got were really minimal, and the way that you saw it was simple tooltips. You know, you just took a look at the thing and you see what you don't have, and then it tells you where to get it or not get it, and that's it. So you had a pretty good visual indicator as to like what. So even without the PTR, you had a good sense of like where you got recycling stuff or where you didn't. All right. Oh, we still got plenty of time. Hey. Now, as for blacksmithing, anything I want to do here? Oh, and real quick, like I already threw down my questions that I'm likely going to ask for the housing, for the decor duels folk. But if you have any other thoughts on questions to ask them, about the game mode or whatever, they could be hard-hitting questions. I mean, it's not going to be a hard-hitting interview at all. I'm just going to be like, hey, here I am, I'm platforming you guys. Let's just talk about it and like gush over the fun of making this mode. But if you have any questions about it, you know, feel free, and I'll look through chat later and see what I can glean from that. Yeah, so I did. Oh yeah, it was engineer I want to look at real quick, right? Yeah, 20 points here. I don't really. Yeah, I've kind of, since I've gone the gear route, I'm just gonna kind of stick to it, and I'm just making myself stuff. Yeah. So I did the boots. I can do the bracers. Hey. Or I can like max out some of these other. No, actually, if I wanted to, yeah. So I would be doing that. So let's do it. Let's commit. No regrets, baby. And for all we know, there's a respec coming in the 1205. Haven't seen it though. I tried looking around. I didn't see anyone. Actually, let me double check. There was a new build, so perhaps I'm wrong, and we'll see that. Yeah. No regrets, baby. That's right. I mean, it's a game, right? Like I said, I it's too bad that I didn't notice that whole scheme of taking the rank 1 mats and then turn them into rank 2s if I had enough knowledge points or whatever, but what can I do? Save. Let's get on this guy. Prefer no regrets, no Rugrats. Rugrats. How did that song go? It was like a kid. It was like a little baby melody thing. I remember the Doug song though. Yeah, I remember that. Rugrats not so much. Ren and Stimpy. I don't remember how that song went either. Yeah. Oh, the Rugrats one. The Rugrats one was like dun 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 dun. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and I had something like that. So Ren and Stimpy was like my least favorite out of them. It was a bit too weird, I guess. It was a bit too off for me. All right, so down here is where I would suspect the respec person to be. So let's do a quick pass. Nope. Enchanted crest. Wait, why enchanted crests? That's not even a thing. Oh, that dude just lost it all. Okay, crafting orders, order master. There's no like item that we use for the respec now, right? Nope, nothing there. Requisition dude. Nope. You're the cosmetic person. Yep. Don't see anything there. So if there is a respec, I don't know where the person is. Oh well. Gear repair. Here's what I say to your gear repair. Woo! Come on. Show me, baby. Oh, yeah. There was some data mining stuff that where people brought up, oh yeah, there's a respec thing coming. Oh my god. And oh yeah, there we go. There we go. For the horde, baby. All right, and I'll log out. So so let me I'll go ahead and head over to the new place, to our first place of the day, and then we'll hang for a bit. So we got 5 folks. We're gonna start with Elise. That's how it's pronounced. Okay, so we're gonna start with Elise, and then Kauko, then Fila Gaming, and Moon Zuffer, and then we wrap things up, sorry, with cornbread. Oh, delicious cornbread. Okay, so let's head over to place number 1. Elise, buddy. Elise. Get that right. Okay, that's crazy. And the neighborhood is called Alias. Oh, that's gonna confuse me. Okay, so in Cornbread right now, there's a pretty decent place that I'll sometimes go to. They do Caribbean stuff. Oh, yeah, their jerk pork is just off the hook. It's so good. Anyone still say that, off the hook, or is it just, yeah, I think that's fallen out of favor, huh? No one says that anymore. Now it's, I don't know what it is. Oh. All right, let me clear my sinuses real quick. Okay, I love sharing, and I'll be right back. Yeah, so we're having a cold. This was definitely one of the better This is one of the more pleasant experiences I've had. Usually, I still end up kind of running myself ragged, and it's of course very bad. And then I'll end up like totally losing my voice and like the congestion, like this, like the throat would be like all sorts of like jacked up. This time around, not so much. Nice and pleasant. Not only that, but my connection has been pretty good. So, thank you to that COVID vaccine for helping me out. Let me turn off the musics. Double check the hard drive space one more time. All right, we are solid. What about the bomb? Do people still say that I just age myself? No. Dude, that stuff, that is the bomb. Oh my God. Dude, no, I definitely say dope. Dude, that's dope. Yeah, I think that's one of those things that's gonna follow me until to the grave, right? Yeah, a lot of the lingo has so far like totally passed me by. Totally passed me by. A lot of it is because I just don't talk with people, especially young people, which is bad. It just kind of tells you that I'm a bad uncle. I should just like be a fly on the wall and just watch my nephew talk and see what it is that they say. It's funny because he's like he tends to be pretty soft spoken too. So I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna learn anything out of this dude. You still say it occasionally? No, dude, I sing. So what do I say? It's dope. It's banging. I like that one. That one just kind of like rolls off pretty well. Uh, we could go all weird and say it's like, oh, this is like pussy on the chain wax or something like that, but I don't think that'll work. Yeah, that's not going to be. Yeah, that won't do for advertisements and all that. Or maybe it will. No, actually, no, that should be fine. Oh, there's the boss right there. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, we'll get started. I just kind of like take my time before I do it. You young whippersnappers are cracking me up. Yo, just cause I'm still in the middle of puberty and all that. It's funny because like sometimes we'll be doing raids or whatever, and I'll be talking, doing my thing, and all of a sudden my voice will like super crack. Like that. People are like, whoa. Still waiting for them balls to drop, Soul? I'm like, actually, yes, I am. Oh yeah. I need to talk to you. I need to talk to my manager. I never had that actually. I didn't have a very strong like voice breaking thing during puberty because again, it hasn't happened yet. No, but all of a sudden, just like boom, it just happened. You know, like one day I was just like scratching my chin. I'm like, wait, what is all this? It just happened all of a sudden. Like I had a little like anime time skip sort of thing happen. It was very odd. Anyway, 5 visits. Cool. 20 total for the week, which is banging. Yeah, banging. All right. Oh wow, what a cool spread. All right, folks, this is Elise's place. We're over at Founders, and I already like, how we get this full capture here. It's just very filled out, fenced off, but with like ginormous trees. I mean, like they'll look really big when we get close. But I just like how we captured like this first shot right here. Looks very cozy, very homely, still very inviting. Now, when we get up really close, kind of like this, you know, I think to myself, yo, they need to do their lawn, or we can come at it like that. But this is Warcraft. We don't do like cut lawns and all that stuff. Well, there ain't no lawnmowers in this, in this universe. No, we just look at stuff. All right, so to our left. Ah, very cool. So they took this market. I don't even know. I forgot what this is called, but this is like the empty gazebo, the empty greenhouse kind of. I think it's like a storage something. There you go. And we have like this cool little sitting spot for snackies. I like the styling on it too, because they opted to go for these Gilnean benches, which is like, okay, this is like rickety and whatever, but at the same time, it feels very in character compared to like, having like a really, really fancy looking bench or whatnot outside. Cause it's like, yeah, what if it rains? Is that thing like treated right? Otherwise, it's not going to last very long. It's going to get weather blasted and everything. But something like this, hey, it's just for outdoor stuff. You're only here every now and then. That works out just fine. So these folks are enjoying some barbecue stuff. That's awesome. Love the kid bashing with the extra pillows and everything. Now we pan around, we can see how the trees and the greens, they all kind of come together to sort of like cup or kind of like give a nice little hug to the house. We'll see what's going on behind it in a bit. But first, let's pan back around, go to our right a little bit, check out the well over there. They opted for the fancier well as opposed to like the regular sturdy well that comes from the folk collection. And then we go down to the auto watering thing here. And things are bursting. Yo, they got some good nutrients coming out of this thing, right? Yeah, these plants are just bursting out, begging for a sweet release. Right back here, we can see like how the fencing, it extends out a little bit more. Got our canoe set up, they want to get out there, do some fishing or what have you. And as we go back here, we can see like, those big trees, how they're out here. And now we're a little bit exposed here because, there could be like some budget stuff going on. But they did fill out some of the backside here. They wanted to make sure that they had like a nice solid presentation going back to this spot where we return to barbecue place. And here we have it. Yay. Yeah, so like I said, very nice spread. But as for what's inside, let's see what's going on. Oh, there's like a little peephole right there too. Nice. Hold up. I want to make sure we... Ooh, that's pretty. But yeah, I want to make sure we're good before we get in on this. Feeling pretty okay so far for nomads starting today. It's the Shadow Moon open air. Okay, that's the new thing. I look at it and I think, oh, that's like the greenhouse that isn't, because a lot of the shaping is a little similar. It's not, but I look at it like that. Okay. Oh, wait, that felt good. Hold up, one more. So as soon as we go in, I already turned around, but ooh, I love this door already. That looks sick. Yeah, as soon as we go in, we're treated with this, this kind of setup here. Like, check it out. We have the privacy screens serving as the door and like as these tall windows, hostas to help like kind of like hug this and obscure anything else that's behind it. But the big feature is the big treasure chest that's being used as like the top framing of this door. That's neat. That's really neat. And then we have this object. Can I click it? No, I can't click it. We have this object here as like kind of a centerpiece for it. Really clean look. I think this framing here is just like a big shelf that they used here, followed by, oh boy, these could be walls, the sides of walls perhaps, followed by, ooh, those look like the bottoms of some sort of candelabra or candle-like structure or whatnot. Yeah, Really clean though. Yeah, I like how that. I like how all this comes together. But as we go here, now we're treated to like the extended entrance. We come in. Looks like we're going over like this bridge where we have like this really subtle climb. You can barely see the climb here. Straightens up, goes back down. But yeah, let's check out what's going on the side of this. Yeah, this is really pretty. So over like this bedrock here, surrounded by water, and we have we have at least two cherry trees that are hanging out here. We have the OG cherry tree right over there. Unfortunately, the Pandarum below is drowning. Sorry, buddy, but that's just kind of how it goes. And then we have some bigger greens that are lining up the side. Nothing too heavy, but really cool, really pretty looking. Now I noticed here, we have some like water flowing down. They just use the barrel right over here. And then instead of instead of rugs, we're using walking stones to make the whole water effect, because it has that sort of included texture. And then a little imagination of ours helps to like kind of like visually animate it in our heads. Visually in our heads, or whatever. And then we kind of have a similar pattern here on the other side. Again, with like these stones here. Water animations, and yeah, again, lots of greens. Really cool. Nice way to lead us inside. So let's walk right through and ooh. Okay, I love how this kind of like deepens up. So it's a little hard to tell. I think the lighting is a little bit different. Because it looks a little bit darker in here than normal. You can see how the lanterns pop a little bit more. So that's my guess right now. It's not like dark, but I can definitely see that the lighting, it definitely looks like the lighting changed a little bit. So as we come into this, really neat. So we're in a stairwell room, and then they built this roof. But also they made it semi-transparent so we can see more of these greens spilling out. I don't know if we'll be able to see what's above that, or actually travel up there. But like it really helps to create this vibe. Really pretty. So we go in, and this is more or less, I can't really describe exactly what kind of room this is. It just kind of starts off as a sitting room. Like there's the boss, hey. And then the centerpiece of it is all the way back here. We have this huge set of like, a couple of acacia trees that are extending out, but not so much that they're really like clipping through or trying to burst through. They're going up this high. But really cool presentation. I love how we have this contrast. Again, we have like the different semi-floating lights, or they're hanging lights, plus the goblin string lights along the side. And at least the way that the lanterns light or don't light things up, they just have this glow. So they're not really illuminating everything. And it helps to like keep the whole presence of the room like, pretty dark. So I like how it all ends up landing together. That's neat. On the side here, we have like these huge structures. We have these really, really big bookcases. I mean, they're like that big. So a bit bigger than normal, but well sized for what we're trying to accomplish here. Just trying to set up like this nice, big, filled out space. That's neat. Otherwise, what are we doing? Chilling here, reading. I wish it was a little brighter so I could read better. So it has that kind of thing to it. But, for like the personal space, just fine. Just fine. Yeah, I love how things are adorned here. You got the big shelf right here, plus what are probably like additional rugs or whatnots to help create like this, this color illusion here. Yeah. It all, like I said, it all lands really nicely. Super pretty. Now, as we proceed, we're sticking pretty hard on theme. Now, here you notice the illumination is a lot brighter because we have this kind of lighting setup, or we have this kind of chandelier, which I know does a great job of illuminating an entire room. It's just the nature of that particular light. So in that case, you don't need to like try too hard to create additional light sources. It just happens to do that, which is kind of neat. But over to our left, we have this like cool little flower box set up. And notice how it's actually closed off here too. So we have like this kind of illusion. Here's like the better shot of it. I like that. And we got Sam just chilling in his own little tub. He's like, oh, I'm vibing, buddy. Nice. Like notice like here you have like all the water set up still. Rocks, water, little fountains right there to, set up the animations. But I like how it spills down. Really neat. Right in the middle, it seems to be kind of like, I don't know if there's going to be a big banquet hall that we're seeing, but this is the kind of spot where we're seeing it like kind of like double up. We have the kitchen, prep table, and the dining room, and the dining table. So maybe just a place for a couple folks. We'll see if there's like a larger space for guests or whatnot. Let's take a quick look at the kitchen right here. Boom, 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 boom. Anything cool? Oh, filled up cabinets and everything. Nice touch with the doors. Kind of smalled up a little bit, but they still work. They're huge and heavy, but it's all good because those are the only doors they gave us. That's what we kind of gotta work with that, We got a cool pantry set up. And then here we have the kind of look of a fridge, basically. So we have what I believe is, I think up here, I'm not quite sure what's making that particular effect. It could be any number of things. There's like a couple things that can produce like this sort of like white, smoky, foggy kind of material. But yeah, pretty neat. Because like it almost looks like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a freezer, fridge, pantry kind of thing, and not like an oven, even though the food's smoking. It just kind of throws me off a little bit. That's cool though. And then here we have like our oven and everything. What do we got going? Pie. Oh, nice. God, I want like a good pie. Here in the corner, we have like additional stuff for folks who want to sit, just to enjoy a book and some coffee. Heck yeah. So we'll just like hang out here. Nice. So let's go to our left now. I love how it's sticking on theme. We have like these deep reds, and the lighting does a great job of helping with that too. But now we're going into the loo. We still have the red theme, but of course, and we do happen to have like a nice big rug and everything. But, it's just easier to clean this way, right? Let's have a seat. I'm sitting nice and pretty. It almost looks like I'm being cupped by this. Actually, what am I? I'm a prey target now, baby. Because I think that's what it is. I think it's that pedestal that's being used. That's cute. Again, we have like the shelf that's being used. Now it's being used as kind of a backboard for that. And then all throughout, filling up space, providing like some blue light coming right up from above, but pointing out instead of like down. So you can see like the contrast of how like dark it ends up being in here, which may or may not be what they were going for. But it's still just a pretty bathroom. Yeah. Let's go this way now. I'm like, I'm pulled in by these sewer gates. So we got 3 of them here. And to the left and to the right, what do we got? We got outside. That's how it feels. So chicken coop out there. This kind of illusion of distance. Maybe we'll close these up. Maybe it feels a little bit better if it's closed up like this. Yeah, I think that does a bit better of a job of, leaving that illusion intact. So that's cool. But yeah, we go through this very short hallway. Notice how we're walking by these stones here. Go through another sewer gate and into, not sure yet. We're kind of transitioning here, because we have like a tiny bit of class branding here. Some more Pandoran stuff, and then we're invited to go into, not quite sure yet, but it's being closed off by these trellises plus some big beams. And is this like a practice room? Yeah, it's kind of like a practice room / fighting arena, right? So here we are, we're facing off. I like how the light happens to dance here. It's daytime outside, but it's still like really dark in here. Some illuminations coming in here from these hanging torches here. We're practicing, we're fighting, we're grabbing gear, safety gear, whatnot, or not safety gear. And we hop up here and beat the crap out of each other. Good times. Good times. So again, we have this this really strong Pandaren theme that we're being pretty consistent on. This one kind of breaks it just just a tiny bit, but not so much. I think we're still like really good on theme. As for what's back here, actually, let me take a quick look. Oh, pull-up bar. Nice. I was wondering about that for a second. I'm like, okay, was that intended? Looks intended. All right, so right through here. Boop. Ah. So after a long day of, or good few hours of practice, what are we gonna do? We're gonna give ourselves a nice soak. Boom. Very therapeutic. Enjoy some greens, the warm lights once again. And there's like is that an actual window? No. Just a thing for like greens to grow on. All good. But yeah, a place you can easily fall asleep in, that's for sure. But yeah, we'll wash up and we're good to go. All right, so we'll backtrack a bit from the gym area. It's kind of like a one part gym, one part spa. You almost have like this kind of like waiting area. It's like, okay, get some water before you come in, and then, practice and fight your heart out. Go in for a soak, and you're good. All right, so we're going to retreat back to this main room here. There's like the awesome transition inside again. I just noticed here, like you have like this nice little setup. It's not like clutter or anything, but it's just like this whole selection of like greens, other decor to help kind of guide us in. It's not exactly trying to say something, but it's just something that's nice to have. And now we're climbing up. Hello, Gilneas. So we're going up like one long set of stairs. And then we get up here into this okay, so here we are. So here's like the upper area. Oh, this is pretty. Oh, I really like how this thing set itself up. So in this case, and we had just one climb. We had no additional landings that I noticed. And then as we make our way up here, I look like that's the roof. It's just filled with these giant hostas. Sometimes I call them hostels because they are almost offensive, but like how large and how much real estate they end up covering. It's a great plant to use for like anything. But what's cool is that I can walk on this too. And we have all these duskwood greens and other things that are growing on top of it. Yeah, so that comes out really great because we have like this huge flower box that we can enjoy, plus a whole ass tree that they put on top. Now, as we're up here, we can see that the place has been skinned with these, I don't know the name of them, but like these kind of calderai rugs all the way through the back and to the side as well. But back here, we go back to like the bricks. And then here, we also have like a different wall texture. We have like this different color. From the looks of it, it looks like not rugs, I don't think. Looks like fountains that are being used. But, they just put up some wall decor. And one empty, what's it called? Trophy rack. So a head is pending, perhaps. But yeah, notice how, we're just going through a bunch of shelf work here. Warlock shelves, to be precise. And they're angled in such a way that, you see the clip here, but it's not so bad. Yeah, this happens to work out pretty well. And then we have like this little kind of like worky station here. For like maybe maintaining some of the greens. It's like, okay, let me grab some stuff. This will be a nice thing. And then they'll replant it somewhere else. That's cool. So now we'll go proceed through with the store. Let's see. Sorry. All right. So as we go here now, we enter this. So we kind of changed theme here. You know, we've definitely moved from, we've moved pretty far from that Pandaren look. And now we have like this very nice violet, this deep violet glow as we're going into, I don't know what. I like this. I really like this effect. That table's awesome. It's being used to great effect here as like, you know, this sort of like illuminated background behind the bookshelf. But I love how that ends up sitting. A lot of folks love using it, and it's a real treat to see how it's being used. So here we have this cool flower box with Naru stuff. So we have like this gallery, right? This gallery of coolness, of yellows, and you know, it's kind of contrasting colors, but it happens to all land together in a really tasteful way. Yeah, it's like a good complement to each other. Like there we are again with the like the spatial background things to the table. Now I go through this door and we sort of shift again. So notice now, just like the big shift as we go from like one sort of light source to the next. So this sort of light source, it also does a great job of like just having like this really wide illumination. And I just noticed now that's what's kind of being done here, but it's pretty subtle. You still have the purples being the dominant light over in this space. But then here, without the purples, now we get like this nice, clean, bright yellow light instead. I've also kind of like lost my orientation. This is it's an oddly shaped room, but pretty neat though. You know, we have like these different shelves here that are just shelves. It's all good, but I'm still kind of curious. Okay. And then we'll like, oh, I guess we'll go here. This, yeah, what an interesting room layout. Yeah, like small library room to which like grab stuff. And then you go here and here's like the sitting room to enjoy said reading stuff. But then you also have multiple doors. Like there's a door there, there's a door there. And was there like, and then there's something that leads there. Interesting. So how do I want to play this? I think I'll go through here first because I have a feeling that these might be like smaller carve outs perhaps. So right through here, again, carved out room. And we have like this nice tight spot. Oh, and check out what's outside. Oh, it's cute. It's a cute little diorama. So we got a couple Miss Murgles there. There's mom. And then there's her son, who's also named Miss Murgle. Sorry, it's just kind of how it goes. And they're just chilling in their own closed little habitats, unable to react to human touch. I'm just sorry. It's cooler than that. That is neat. That is a neat presentation. We all sit here and like just enjoy the view. Very cute. What else do we have in this room? Yeah, this kind of gives us an idea of like the shaping of this room. Check out the painting up top. And remember, this is a carved in room, so you can notice like the placing of the walls here. It's an awkward shape, but then you know they just filled out with cool stuff to make it feel like a neat room. And then through here we have like this shroud that is just begging to be walked through. Oh, my wife will love this. I gotta take a screenshot of that. I bet, babe, look, she's a huge Snoopy fan. So, the coolest playroom in the house. Awesome. Very awesome, very cute. Yay. And what are we doing? We're just playing with like little toys. Miss Murgle's playing with stuff. Snuffles is playing with stuff. And I guess we got a little Woodstock Murloc there. That sort of thing. That's adorable. That is adorable. Yeah. Very darling. Very, very charming. Oh, there's a TIE fighter? Wait, hold up. Did I miss that? Where's the TIE fighter? Oh, wait. Oh, you mean this right here? That's a box, actually. Yeah, that's just a box. Now, if we want to use our imaginations, sure. Hell yeah, dude. That's sick. Maybe it's the lighting that makes it that made it seem like that. But yeah, it is just an ethereal box. It just happens to be shaped like that. All right, so let's retreat a little bit. That was the shroud. No, it did look like one for a second. You know, once it was pointed out to me, I was like, oh. All right, so we're gonna go to, I think there's this room here. And now we have, you know, again, another carved out room. And in this case, this is, oh, it's a bedroom. This is the bedroom. I don't know if this is the boss's bedroom, but it's certainly like cozy enough to act as one. But we have this like cute little, you know, this mini war chief throne. And then we can enjoy like, you know, again, a big fan of the rugged look. You know, I love the rugged look of this decor here. And we have this otherwise like, you know, really warm, very cozy room. Back here though, we have another sort of diorama setup. But not really. It's more like, I would say it's more like just like a mini garden that they have, that they made. You know, little baby cacti that's set up. Here's like some sunlights to help it grow. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. A very interesting choice to have in a bedroom, plus fireplace. Must be warm in here. But you know what? That's cool. Maybe they just like it being warm inside. All good. All right, so we went through those rooms, and now I think we're going to go through this one. And what do we have? We have one more bedroom. And this is an interesting setup. You have a bunch of these privacy screens that are being used as blinds. That's how I'm looking at it. That's very creative. Haven't seen it being used like this before. And it's a cool effect. You know, you have that illusion of it being like partially closed or whatnot. It's just not flattened up. That's neat. And then otherwise we have our place to sit, get some clothes. Oh, and I really like how this kind of centers up. You know, it's a simple setup. You just have your drape plus the drain eye window, and then you have your modest bed. You know, nothing too crazy, but it just kind of sits really well. There's a door in the sleeping room that I missed. All right, cool. So we'll go ahead and backtrack. I just want to take a quick peek here. Yeah, so that's where we were. So now we'll make our way back over to the kids' room. And there was a place that I missed. So let's see what I missed there. Not that. Not exactly that. Actually, yeah. Okay, so I'm missing something here. All right, no spoilers. So it's a low ceiling that we happen to be at. Oh, did I not go through? Oh, I didn't go through that door. You doofus. All right. So we're climbing up. Up. And then we have like this whole like weapon rack. Just kidding. Place to get impaled for sure. And we have a painter's room. Oh, that's cool. Boop. So let's have a seat. We'll let the AI do its thing as we admire some of the work. Oh, that's darling. They also set up like little paint bucket things. I don't know the term. Sorry. Really bad at that. But yeah, paint bucket things. I like the layout of what's going on here. So we've gotten pretty high up in this room. We've reached the roof of this space. But yeah, here we have like some inspirational stuff. We have a place to like wash things off. But what I like here too is, again, this whole carving out of space. So like next door is like the kids' room and all that. And then as we climb up, you know, notice that we have like these walls that were like drawn, you know, here's the doorway. And then we have additional walls that are drawn in a way to, again, carve out space. So it's a really good use of like what is a really small space, but it is roomy. You know, there's a lot of room to like walk around and everything, and it's all filled out. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Someone says in chat, I can never decide on a room layout for my horde house, so I don't really have anything done to my house. Lol. I mean, the magic of it is as you just throw things down, unlike real life, we could just kind of throw things down and not really waste like actual energy with moving things. And then you'll be surprised at what your brain will do to kind of like, okay, now that things are out here, where do I want to move it? So, so kind of a tip is to not put things away necessarily, just move them aside and then kind of move things back over as if it was like real life. And then you might be surprised on about what you do. Okay, so the stairs to the second floor aren't hidden, but obviously in space. There are 2 night skybox rooms I'm super proud of. I didn't see any skybox rooms yet. Ooh, so I'm like totally missing stuff. Okay, so there's more. There's more to explore here. I just gotta find it. Don't spoil me. Just in case. I don't think there's a... Let's see, so right through here, we did find a secret spot. Now that's crazy. Yeah, because there's like a bedroom there, and then I passed through another door. Yeah, what a clever layout that we have here. So now we have this cool gallery. Yeah, like this is the kind of thing where it's like, oh, it's hidden. You don't want to hide this. Dude, you want to show this off. Yeah, like, yo, here's some big arrows. Come this way. Because I have some like majestic stuff to show you. So here we have, just like this nice little corner spot here for some trophies. Grats on Heroic Dream Rift, right? So a lot of the time, you could just take like this really small space, just throw up some pillars and like one little thing, and boom, there you have. You have space to like put stuff in. And again, you can be pretty surprised at what you end up carving out without even realizing it. So we're going to go, okay, well, I'm compelled to go this way because it's to the left. So yeah, we kind of have another vibe shift here. We've gone back to like this, now we're in this like very naturey, this very night fae kind of spot. Here's a place where maybe we can soak if we wanted to, or maybe it's just made to be like a fountain of sorts. But yeah, we've gone back to like these darker and like really deep blues. Here's a place to basically pass out. Because if I'm going to be smoking and whatnot and enjoying the vapors of blue purple fire, I'm going to end up falling asleep. 100%. Well, what's cool is that, inside this room, they just carved out another space using the tent. It's like, here's the tent. And then there it is. That's it. Sometimes that's all you need to like fill out a room space. And then just keep filling things up with like more and more and more. It's like, why is there a tree in the middle of the second floor of this house? So, let's suspend disbelief and stick to the whole exploring side of things. Oh, what is going on here? Okay, we've shifted hard. Oh. Okay, suddenly we've entered this very, very dark, cavernous area. Oh, dude, this is what I live for, dude. I love caves. Caves are awesome. You can do so much random stuff with it, and you have no idea how like the layout ends up looking. I mean, I'm guessing we're in the stairwell room, but who cares? So we're climbing down now from this second floor. Notice how we have these Forsaken fence posts that are help guiding us down. You can see the pillar work that's being used to kind of help to suspend these rocks from falling down on us and otherwise totally killing us and all that. But we keep climbing down, down, down into the sort of like basement area where we, it's not sinister yet. Not yet. But we have storage for all of our wines and delicious drinks. Storage for other things. There's some work on something going on here. We got a Miss Murloc ball or plush or captured prisoner for all we know. And we've also reached a kind of like sewerish area. You know, things are kind of draining down here. They'll probably come out through that as well. Although the animations look like the water is coming into that, so it could be going either way. But yeah, ooh, just a really cool vibe. Really cool vibe. Normally, I'm usually against like having like these rock faces here. You got to use your imagination to really sell that. I prefer usually to just have actual rock there. But the way, especially with the lighting, the way this comes together, it's great. It's great. Works out just fine. So we'll walk through. Ooh, sudden cherry tree, cherry blossom. So now let's go through. We can kind of see here we're transitioning to yet another room, and it looks like we're going outside now. But then a little peek here takes us to like this. Oh no, we're still going outside. We just found a different way. Oh, this is pretty. I love how this kind of like opens up. Ooh. Oh, also very interesting. Notice how these paving stones are green. So what they did here, they added a little bit of texture to it, very easily. I think that's the first time that I've seen the paving stones used to this effect, and I think that's really good for, again, adding a little bit of texture without it looking too weird. It's like, oh, let's have more paving stones. Okay, maybe not, but instead they're green. But yeah, very tasteful on this presentation. Like it's we have like this really like filled out space. Here, let's turn around here. Oh yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I think we might be able to climb up that. We'll give it a shot in a bit. Oh wow. Yeah, super filled out. Loving the effect of the cherry trees here. But it's also kind of like this ruined spot. So you have that whole troll looking structure thingamajig there. Right, here are some other placements, such as an exposed cherry tree this time. Now we can see the Pandaren. Hey, what's up, buddy? One of these new trellises to help kind of like separate the space. Yeah, really cool. Really, really cool. All right. So let me see if I can climb up that thing. I don't know if I can. Like I'll just cheat and zoom out. Um so it looks like with considerable effort I can. I'll go ahead and just let that be. But yeah, here's like the full zoom out. Yeah, that's really neat. Really good use of the space. Things are like just big enough to preserve the whole illusion. Let's go back to like first person. So like here's what we're seeing. Yeah, so neat. And then you can see here, like they follow through with like the water that's falling down. There's like the waterfall stuff going over there. And then you have more of it dripping down right into the water there. Sick. Now, I don't think I saw any other like additional paths, right? It's just like we're going through here. So this is like the sort of like wall barrier kind of thing that helps to open things up. So that way we have the illusion of, okay, we're kind of going around this corner and then boom, it just kind of reveals itself, right? Otherwise, without the rocks, it would be like all the way back here that you would like turn and then see it, like then boom, and like here where the outside would be, which is still, which would still be cool, but it's a bit more dramatic when you can go around and boom, it's like all right in front of you. Yeah, really cool. Now, according to the notes, there's a second skybox room. So I think a little bit more exploring is in order. Maybe. So we'll backtrack for now and we'll explore more of like this cave area. There might have been a few things that I missed because it's kind of dark in here. There might be other like little hidden paths that we haven't noticed yet. Like anything up here, doesn't seem to be anything at that spot there. But we'll keep looking around. Yeah, so here's that cave spot. And then now I think we're transitioning back. Yeah, we're transitioning back here. So we'll see if we need to revisit that spot in a bit. We'll backtrack some more. So here's where we were. We're going back here, back past the starry window. Yep, there's more. Cool. Let's see. Ooh, so here's what I mean. In this case, open the door, boom, right in front of you. So in this case, we crossed the threshold. We're outside now. Things look like they were like boxed off, and we'll just back up from here. And we have really good presentation. They have they shaped this with like just a bunch of beams, walls, gazebos right up front, to have like a good shaping of like just any old home. But now let's pan around. So now we sort of return to like this kind of Pandaren style. You can see like, we can see all sorts of like different themes being used here. So we have like these rocks, trees, Gilnean walls to help set up like the back area. And then we have this very unsuspicious void thing that's appearing there. So I have a feeling that it's a little bit hard to tell because of the way that the light is positioning itself. So I can't tell if the void well kind of thing, if it's below or if it's off to the side. It might be off to the side, so that way you can have also the consortium, whatever the hell that thing is called, bringing in those lighting effects. So it's just jammed into like the side there. Very cool though. Very ominous. It's like, okay, things are nice and pretty and cool, but then up above, dun dun dun, right? So we'll go around here. We'll take a look at some more of the stuff here. So we have some Herondar looking stuff. Big old Pandaren forge to help illuminate. So I love this shot here. Very pretty. I actually didn't need to do a jog because there was a lot of cool things we were looking at. I didn't even take a screenshot because I was just too busy going, ooh, that's tough. Yeah, great fountain work that's being done here too. Nice and dressed, but we're also like, it's this very, our eyes aren't really being directed to like anywhere in particular. We have all sorts of like things that are like popping at us to make us want to appreciate like the entire shot. Yeah, really nice. And then inside here, inside the greenhouse, we have this big old flower box set up. Things are looking very, very healthy. All right. And one eggy. Actually, okay, it's this precious golden eggy, actually. Wait, that's his house. Never mind. This is his little baby house. That's adorable. So let's go inside. I'm just kidding. We're not going to go inside that house. But we can click it. It just doesn't do anything. Bummer. All right. So Elise, have we found everything? Did we see everything there is to see? Where does the Easter Island head come from? That's a troll thing. I forget exactly where, but that is definitely a troll sort. That is a Zulamon sort of thing. I have. Nice. Now, great place. Great place. I want to do a jog because I want to get some screenshot stuffs. Let's see. There's like there's a number of places I can do. Oh boy, how do I want to do this? Like, what would I say helps to not exemplify, but what's something that helps to highlight a big, nice, cool piece of this house? So let's go here. I think I took this already. Yeah, I took that shot already. But that's just like one cool room. This is another cool room. I think the skybox rooms will be the ones that I'll get some more shots of. So like there's this one here. Or actually, I'll take this one. I kind of like the way that this lands and sets itself up. But also, we'll hit up the other spots to the Suddenly Cave room, which is this way. Boom. Yeah, this is like a big surprise transition. It's like, hey, you know how we started off in like this? Oh, this is a very pleasant Pandaren house and blah blah blah. Okay, it's like, okay, now what? Now what do we have? I think we're gonna go back to the first floor too. I want to take a look at that and see if there's you see what other shots I can take there. All right, so we go up and then around. All right, so this way and then this. Nope, not that way. This way. There we go. This is where we go. So here we are in like the upstairs spot. I want to do that too. And then this way should be the stairs. Thank you for making railings there. Safety first, after all. And then this spot here, I like that. And then the entrance too. So how can I capture this? So maybe I'll capture the door as well as like something like this. And then I'll reverse it. Something like that. Pretty. Cool, cool. Thanks for inviting us. What a treat. Okay, so where we going next? Because we're just getting started, baby. All right, how'd this go? Yeah, while that goes, I'll be right back. So not 100%, but I'm like 90% of normal now. So sometimes just throwing things that worked. How I got a silver moon shrine in my night owl house. Yeah. Kauko. Cool. Nah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't have got it myself. I would have said Kauko or something like that. Yeah. Then I would have been punched. Ooh. All right. All right, folks, this is Kauko's place. We're over in Founders, and we're already flanked by these envious, very envious cherry blossom trees right on the side. You can kind of see here that we have like this makeshift wall, Gilnean walls, that are being used to close up the space, but not the entire space. You know, it doesn't, because that's trying to surround the whole thing is, it's like, it would be an attempt to make it seem functional when we're mostly going for like the cosmetics and everything. So like a shot like this works great. So very inviting. Let's go on inside a little bit and see what we got. So the house itself, it's like it's the holidays, it's like it's Christmas. We got like Christmas lights up front, a little bit on the side. I don't know if it's really Christmas they're trying to celebrate. They just want to like make the place pop. In either case, it looks great. Up here, we have this porch area that they attached to the house. Really smooth. Totally feels like it's like part of the space. You know, because we're up. Very social too. We're up, we go around, there's a place to sit, enjoy some snacks, nice little spread. And then we climb down. Nice and simple. Very, very clean with how it's being executed. You know, and it flows together too, because we have these, I think these are earthen style fencing that's being used. Very cool. In the back, we have like, a little spread of greens right behind the house, as well as a little bit to kind of draw the rear of the house. And then we have, very clever. So what they did, they created this whole representation of what looks like a little observation room plus artsy room that's inside. We'll see if they happen to create this representation from the inside too. That'd be a pretty cool detail. But yeah, nice attachment that's being set up there. Again, very, very clean with how that was executed. It's not inside. Spoiler alert. It's all good. It's all good, dude. But let's see. I think we've seen what we need to see out here. Oh, dude, that little vulpine like just totally like aced. They just hunted. But anyway, let's go on inside and see what we got. So here we have no notes. Yeah, we have not really much of an idea of what to expect on the inside. Not sure if there's any secrets or whatnot, but the boss is here in chat to provide a little bit of context and maybe some commentating as we go through. But as soon as we walk in, a very nice entrance that we have here. I mean, it is supposed to be like a fireplace, but then they just kind of skinned it up, close out the fire, and like here we have like instead this grand looking door. How it works, I don't know. Maybe the whole thing like rolls out or something like that. But whatever the case, it's just pretty. Maybe we crawl through like that. That wouldn't be so bad either. But we are invited to take off our shoes, hang up some stuff, maybe rinse off, put up a coat. And then notice how we have this like a bit of immediate climb here. Right? Boom, boom, boom. 3 steps. So that way we have like a good illusion being set up with some water down there. Right? Easy way of putting that together. Also notice too, we have a low roof being set up. So we have like this illusion of being in like this kind of like courtyard sort of spots. Here's the outside. It's being adorned with with the carpets, as well as a whole bunch of star flags being set up. Yeah, very pretty setup and very convincing, kind of this whole outdoor look, as if we're like going through and then now we can actually enter the houses proper on this side. So yeah, really good depiction. So we have like areas to our left, to our right. Of course, we can like kind of peek ahead, and well, since this is the middle, this looks like all there is to see here, but let's take a look. So here is more like, well, I don't have the words for it. Like just more like a shrine. We sit, boom, offer up a prayer, burn a little incense, right? Cool. So nice little center setup to help us in. But otherwise, it's going to be to the left and right that we go. And of course, we're going to go left. There's a Pandaren temple. Has that vibe, right? So we'll take a look through. Pandaren is a really popular theme that I've seen with housing. Like they have like very, very iconic furniture. It just screams their culture. We also have like this is going to be a big place. We have like a good ways down there. We have good ways down there. All right. Now, at least at a glance, this looks like it has like some sort of a like retail element to it. Where it looks as if we're going to be like checking in and then going that way to, who knows, some sort of adventure. So first, we're going to progress a bit further down, past the shelving, and into the kitchen. All right. So kitchen spot right over here, filled out. Again, really strong Pandaren theme, but we have the use of features like from all over. Lots of Calderai tables right over here, regular shelves, but a big spread of food. We take a quick stop at like the coffee bar, get ourselves like some of the good stuff, right? And then around here, let's go right in here. Love this because we have a walkthrough area for the kitchen, for the kitchen area. Things are filled out. A little pantry, a little bit of room for like pantry stuff, but it looks like we have a full-on pantry like right back there. But yeah, a lot of stuff that's being prepped. So it looks like there's going to be like a big party. I expect there to be like a huge banquet hall somewhere around here. As we peek back here, modest little pantry area. Nice and filled, despite how much food is going out. Yeah, so there's still plenty, plenty more to be had if the party's like super filled out. All right, so we'll retreat from the kitchen area. Start to make our way back. So we'll go into that sort of like retail area that's back here. So Kauko is saying that the side of the house is more like the public space for entertaining. The other half is more private. Cool. So we were kind of on the mark there. So as we go in, we'll kind of go at this from like a whole like, okay, this is like a public vibe sort of dealy. But there's like plenty of things to entertain us. Books to read if we want to. Place to sit, enjoy the sights while we have like ourselves a bit of reading, discussion, but also, people might just be walking through. They're just trying to get from point A to point F or whatever. And as we cross through here, now we start seeing places for like folks to like sit and enjoy some soft music. Heck yeah, dude. So I would say this would be like one of the favorite seats, have some wine, get some food over, enjoy some of the sights and sounds. Notice how we're like really deep in the purple, so we started off coming in with this sort of like the sort of Pandoran theme, and things have kind of shifted a little bit to this very deep purple, very heavy on the Calderai stuff. So we'll head up on stage. Notice how the stage is a little bit skinned. We have like a little bit more, we have some beam action here. So that way the front area looks, just a little bit more clean. We got our instruments. Oh, and they're just like drinking right up on stage. Heck yeah, dude. So they're having a good time. They're like, yo, we're going to be here for like a 2-hour set. Give me a bottle, buddies. And so they're being served too. Very nice. Yeah, so it tells a nice little story of like just having like this kind of like more intimate spot. It's not like there was a lot of food being prepped back there, right? But at least so far, we're seeing this depiction of like, this is just like a place for like just a couple of guests. Nothing too crazy. So we're passing through the little concert hall. And notice now, boom, 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 we do this little bit of a climb over the water inside this L-shaped room, actually. Very cute. Yeah, love the theme on here. Greens are like bursting out, full of life. And then we climb down a little bit and we're outside. Oh, check this out. So, surrounding the spots, lots of greens. Oh, wait, no, not just lots of greens. Oh, okay, so hold on. So back here, now very interesting. We have like this sort of transition here. We come out, right under this trellis here. But then we also have like this big presentation. Like, dude, this wall is intense. Oh, that's good. That looks really good. So remember, the way that this was colored in is very similar to the entrance that we walked into. Yeah, so we have that sort of setup, and I believe we have, down here, I don't know if those are like wall setups. I'm not entirely sure. That might be just built into like the original structure here. So my bad on that. But yeah, notice here we have like 1, 2, 3, 4 of like these green roofs, which, when you really capture this sort of shot, it just screams Pandoran stuff. It has a really, really good theme to it. But you're looking at what I believe to be are like these Pandoran bells. And it's just like a whole bunch of them being stacked together. You can sort of see how they come together here with the flooring here. Might be wrong, might not be totally accurate, but that's kind of the general idea. And then notice how the front of these areas they're being skinned with these Valdrakken tables. Huge tables to help kind of close things off. And then some more scrolls to just kind of fill out the space. This works out really well. Yeah, I love the way that all this fits. It's very convincing. You know, you got to take a pretty long look to start like understanding like all the little things that are like going into it. You know, like I said, you have bells, tables, extra lanterns and whatnot, and then the scrolls to help fill out the space. But it just, it comes together really great. So well done on that. Let me take one more shot of that. Boom. Now here's where the food went. We have more restaurant areas. So we have a smaller prep table here. You know, so my guess is like, you know, at some point like they haul food over from like the big kitchen, bring it out the side, bring it right over here so that we can like finish the warming and prepping and then serve people so that way it's, you know, freshly cooked and everything. Yeah, so really nice setup. So like here we are, we're like sitting, we're vibing, we're enjoying some of the sights. Yeah. Oh, hey, check it out. There's Sassy Dragon to like give us crap. To be like, yo, did you finish your food? You're like, yeah. Okay, why don't you leave me alone? We'll do a lap around this. So we have like this big tent setup that helps to help create like the initial shape for this room and for the eating area. Let's walk around over the paving stones. Appreciate some of the work that goes into like really dressing up the spot to feel more full, to feel a bit more inviting, close up the spot a little bit. And here's what we're talking about. So here's like a well. So this could be like one of the things here, but I know there's like a bell too. So as for which structure is being used, I don't know. It could be either of them. But yeah, here again, Sassy Dragon, hi. And we have some of the old school cherry blossom trees here as well. They're the bells? Okay, cool. Yeah, because I figured because you needed to have like that sort of foundation. And as you can see, the well does not have the same thing. So that's all. But yeah, again, really great use of the wall. So far, one of my favorite things in here. One of. Yeah, so there's a lot more to see. Yeah, really cool setup. This is great. That is great. So now we're going to retreat a bit. Back to the L shape over the water. We're gonna jog a little bit now. So through the transition, here's the hallway, and then there's the retail. Here's the podium spots, and then now we're back here. So back through the kind of outdoors courtyard. Yeah, really great work here, dude. This is awesome. Like, I don't know how high the roof is here, but you know, bringing it down like this, I like that effect. I really like that effect. You know, it just means that, you know, if rain comes in, then, you know, it's gonna like spill into the lake area there. That's a neat effect. So we climb down once again. So now we're on the flat surface again. Welcome back to Earth. And we go through like a similar sort of transition hallway that we saw from before. But it looks like they add a little bit more. It's like, hey, boop, boop. We have a little place to that's been carved out so I can chill with the lion buddy. So he's got his own couch. Don't get on my stuff. I don't want dander on me. I'm allergic to that stuff. But I can grab my book, do some reading. Nice, you know, nice and tight space. You know, just to kind of give you an idea. Like here's my character. This is it. This is all the space that we're taking up. You know, so one of the favorite things that I see is whenever I can manage to go through like these really small spaces and enjoy like the little bits of like clutter that have been like strewn about. You know, it doesn't need to be like this huge expansive space that's you know, that has a lot of like walking room. Sometimes making it like nice and tight is all you need. But of course, we have some preset rooms such as this stairwell room, which is very spacious. So sometimes it can feel like a challenge to fill things out. And here's what they did. So they filled out like the bottom of the stairwell case, books, Booksies, booksies, booksies. Fireplace right in the mid. And then they added like this very nice looking workstation right under the first climb. So we got signage, we got books, we got just work going on, little bits of clutter, piles of other books, maps, and I'm looking for Gilneas. No plans for Gilneas here so far. Yeah, and then like a lot of little adornments to help fill out the space. You know, boom, bookshelf. Takes up lots of, oh, there's Gilneas. Hey, check it out. We're back. We are back. All right, so let's do this climb. But first we have to at least acknowledge the fierce and ongoing battle between the mighty horde and the other people. So they're just starting their chess game. They're just getting started. We'll see how things go. Just kidding. They're called the Alliance, as far as I'm concerned. So here's something kind of interesting here, too. So they added like this little baby landing right over here. They didn't have to, but they did. They added this little baby landing. Boop, boop. Put some bookshelves right up there. And then we do the climb. Totally unnecessary, but I just want to acknowledge that and be like, you know, that's cool. Right? That's cool. Now, as we do the climb, you know, notice we have like a little spattering of greens. It's all very viney in this case. So it's hard to tell like where we start and where it ended up. But I want to acknowledge too that they linked them all together. I would hate doing this. Honestly, this is like the whole viney setup. Oh man, that's a little bit of work. That is a little bit of work that I know that I don't want to do. So now as we get to the top of the spot, here we're flanked with like this, you know, nice, it's nice and filled out. Double fireplaces, bunch of extra bookshelves, you know, everything that we can need here. And then right up above, there's this curious platform that I'm going to be, you know, I wonder what that means. So it means we might be going higher, for one thing. Now, as we go through, now this entire wing is meant to be a bit more of a private space, right? So we're going through this private space, but at the same time, we're invited, you know, if there are guests, we're invited to like sit down, do our thing, all good. Inside this C-shaped room, we got options, left, right, and center. Going this way first. Right past these cool flower boxes. Ooh. We're going to wait on that, actually. Sorry. We're going this way instead. Into the bedroom. All right. So that part feels like if I can end the visit on like a, ooh, you know, on a cool last room, I'll try to do that. But I don't want to get spoiled on it either. I want to still explore, right? So we enter the bedroom. And kind of like a flower box part 2. So we had like we have them there, we have them here as well, which is a great way of again filling up space. But we go through and okay, I first got to do this climb. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, look at the opulence here. Oh, the vanity. Like must have this elevated bed. It's like super dressed up. Like check it. Check the spread here. You know, we have like this in this octagonal room, they created like this whole platform for themselves, plus the additional climb into the bed, just to make sure that they are above the rest of us. we do have our wardrobe. I'm gonna predict that maybe that could be like a chair, but it might be something for like maybe a pet bed. It'd be cool if it was a pet bed. We got our vanity. We're all prettied and gussied up. Notice how we have like a bit of the skinning here with the rugs You know, it's exposed in the back, but you know, great job of like just creating like this, you know, private floor for themselves. Oh, there's the puppy bed. Oh, there we go. Ha ha ha. So he does have a place to hang out. Sweet. So it's very much the kind of space where It's like, yo, this is where I sleep, but also this is where I can hang out too if I don't feel like being around the rest of the house. It's all good. So now let's go through here, and I predict we're gonna find a bathroom somewhere. Nope, there's the boss, and he's dead. Yep. Nah, he's bacon. He is bacon. Okay, I like this setup because it's really simple, which it's gotta be. Wood, stone floors, minimal lighting, the necessary stuff to grab your water. You throw that stuff onto the heat. You have like a little bit of exposure outside, but hopefully those windows are like closed nice and tight, and then we just bake. Nice. Very, very nice. All right. So let's go through here. We'll let them, gotta be polite. Close the door behind you. You don't want to let all that heat out. That's a lot of wasted energy. You know what I mean? But yeah, we'll go back up to this bed because I didn't really get to appreciate what's going on like on the outside here. Got some green set up. We have our, it's kind of a more or less like typical setup of like the outdoors. We do have the star flags that are back there for some additional effect. But then a lot of folks, they lean on the moon well to create that effect, and because it's good. I'm not trying to knock it at all. It's just a very popular choice. All right, so we're gonna go off to this side here now. Now here's the bathroom. Oh, now we've gotten extra opulent in this spot. So on the side, we have like this whole marbling setup above, below, to the side. But I love all the way that all this sits together. We have our fountain, but then we have these stones here to act as like part of the drain. The whole thing is dressed behind like the whole gazebo. I think there is a no, that's just part of the platform there. So it's just made to be like part of like the ceiling here. But I really like this setup. This looks great. It's trimmed with beams and platforms, but it all kind of comes together with the clipping of these two rounded tables. And then we have like that whole depiction of the outside. They clipped the like washing tools, our brush and soap back there too. Pretty, really, really pretty. I dig this, dude. Nice and separate too. So it's like there's where we soak. Actually, let me look again really quick. I wanted to see if there's like is it like a waterfall style? No. It's just the tub over there. Then over here, this very clean, this kind of look of having an almost like single countertop, like a single piece of marble or whatnot, and then you have your water down here. Very nice, very clean bathroom, right? It's like they cleaned stuff up before we came over and all that, that sort of vibe. And then otherwise we have this very basic looking toilet. It's clean, nice and simple. Grab our stuff, wash off, wipe our booties, and we're good. Yeah, nice setup. All right, so went through there. That was a sauna. Went through the bathroom. That's the door that I want to kind of save for last for now, at least. But let's see what's this way. This way we've got, ooh, boy. Oh, okay, we got to climb. Let's retreat. I'm going to go through here now because I know this is going to be a dead end. So, all right. So once again, okay, it's a little different. So it's one part hallway, one part place to sleep. And who's sleeping here? Our buddies. We got Miss Myrgle, we got Reptar and Snuffles. We're all just chilling, enjoying the outdoors. Very cool. They're like, can you get off the bed, please? I'm like, all right. Jeez. But yeah, cool little elevations and stuff there. I'm going to presume that, yeah, this is for like the pets to like hang out. And then here we have this cool depiction of the outside. Very nice. So here we are back here. Here's kind of the shot. And we have like this pretty good depiction of distance. You know, that wagon is like some ways away. Very cool. Now as we reach the end of this hallway, it opens up. Boom. Oh, dude. Yeah, the way that this kind of like presents itself, that's epic, dude. That is epic. So we have like we have like this super moon well all the way out there. It almost has, you know, from this vantage point. So here's me like sitting. Actually, maybe this is a better POV. Yeah, it almost looks like we have like this whole illusion of distance, as if there's like huge structures that are all the way back there. But I think we might be able to like walk out there. We'll see in a bit. But yeah, like I feel like I don't need to go out there. I will, but like it's just really easy to appreciate like just it from like this distance, because you got to capture the whole thing to really like, be like, ooh, to soak all this in. Otherwise, it's like, hey, there's a table with food on it. That's cool. But dude, check this out, right? So I'm going to turn around and see like how it is if we came out. Oh, check this out too. Solid. So we have this very, very solid transition of, you know, coming out. So like there's a doorway. We have that we have a small room to help define us, and then we finally climb out once we cross this threshold. But it all sits really well together because you can see everything in this case. So now you have a really, really convincing sense of depth and going in and out and everything. So let's see if we can go out there, because I'm not sure yet. First, though, we do have other places to sit. You know, it's not just out there. You know, we have places we can like try to be inspired and try to do our best to make a depiction of what we're seeing outside. Let's see if we can jump out here. Yes, we can. Ooh, explore. So it looks like we aren't in fact really meant to like be out here, but let's just kind of appreciate like what we got, because that way I can do like this whole zoom out spread. So like check it out. It's filled, man. It's not filled all the way to like to the bottom. It's not trying to do that, but you know, of course, the natural greens in this room do a great job of setting that up. And then as we get closer, we can take a look at how this whole giant moonwell sort of thing is constructed. So of course, bunch of rocks, big moonstones there. And again, like big arches to really help make the whole moonwell vibe just instantly recognizable. It's like one of those things you just can't avoid, right? But it helps a ton to create that flavor. And then when you see it all kind of come together, we have just a whole bunch of rocks, different sizes, shapes, orientations, hostas to help cover clip and otherwise, you know, again, make it look way more natural. We have some street lamps right there on the side to provide like some additional glows. And of course, like between the animations that's coming from the moonwell as well as cherry blossom trees, it all really like comes together. So this is great. Fantastic. Yeah, so like the way that you have like the plants here, you know, now that we're like in the thick of it, and we can see it kind of like peek out, it looks even more epic. That's sick. Very, very cool. And we ain't done yet. So let's see if we can make our way back inside, perhaps. Yes, we can. Nice and easy. Yeah, great work on this outside depiction. Very, very convincing. All right, so now we'll come back to this spot here because there's going to be even more to explore. So now we've shifted hard into this whole Blood Elf vibe. You know, we have a little bit of Demon Hunter branding up top. Let's see how that goes. But at least down here, you know, this is, again, you know, certain pieces come together that super define this space. I wonder who lives here. You know, what kind of architecture style is this? It's kind of like a duh. Here we can enjoy like the huge fireplace that's right in front. And it's just, that's kind of how Blood Elves are. Huge, huge bookshelves, huge fireplaces. but they all just kind of they all come together in like this really really clean, a really epic looking shot. Here you go. Let me get some wine, enjoy myself like a little bit. But also check it out too, like little details. You know, you have a whole bunch of like rocks piled in here to create that effect. Yeah, the whole like, you know, burning materials and stuff like that. You know, little details like that, they just help to bring more life into housing. Okay, so it looks like we have all sorts of class celebrations that we might be seeing, or at least just the flags. All right, so we'll go into the next room. Still on theme, still very warm. 1, 2, 4 fireplaces so far that we've seen. But it looks like they wanted to go for like just this pattern, you know, and I think that works out really well. You know, the things that break the pattern would be, you know, some different layouts, but of course we also have like those different rocks once again to give a little bit more of a lived-in feel. It's not just magic. In this case, this is natural fire that we have going here. Cool stuff. And then it turned off. Did I click that? I don't know if I clicked that or not, but I guess I did. But yeah, you can see the difference that this makes. You know, it's a huge fireplace, and it creates that. You know, here we have like this. We just have like the natural white light going. Once we click it, you can see like just how big of a difference it makes in creating this vibe. Now, personally, I'm a big fan of the kind of those troll lights that have a sort of flickering effect. Sometimes that can be a bit disorienting. So just as like a shot, it looks amazing. Amazing. Here we have like a similar sort of setup, this time with like some of the floating, rotating shelves. And now we climb. We have a single climb so far. Really cool too. They just used beams plus more beams actually to create this shape. Now they could have used like a triangular sort of platform, but I don't know what that might have done downstairs. This was an artistic choice, but it turns out pretty. Like I really like how the pattern works here. It just looks like, you know, these marble panels of sorts. We have our walls here as well, plus the tops of these pillars. Hi to Valeria. Hey, what's up? Hope you're doing okay. How's your back? And once we get to this top area here, now we get like a even bigger sense of like, there's more. So there's a long hallway that'll take us there. We'll get there. We'll get to that eventually. First, let's check out what we have here. So this fence work, I'm not entirely on top of which fencing this is, but here at least it turns out to be very clean looking. Really clean. So the whole family's up here. We're all chilling in painting form. It's about dragon fence. Thank you. And notice the top of both the pillars and the walls here, lined with greens, to, you know, just to avoid like the otherwise very sharp clip and flat structure that you have on top of these pillars. So nice, easy things to help fill out those spaces. Back here, kind of like a library and trophy room is what I'm seeing here. Now check this out. Like, hey, look, it's a stack of books. No, this is like a book. This is a whole bunch of books, all stacked together on top of this table or shelf. Yeah, shelf. But even that is quite a bit of work to set all that up. It's like, yo, here's like the special books. Here's like the whatever books, you know? So that way we know like where the distinction lies. Yeah, cool little treasure spot. So like here's a sample of like the regular books, you know, whole stacks. No, but I gotta give some special acknowledgement to the unique books that are over there too. So restricted section of the library. Got it. I mean, you gotta go the distance just to get here in the first place, right? So now through this spot. So okay, so this is more trophy looking stuff. So we have a somewhat incomplete set of prey trophies. You know, it's only a matter of time. Some captured living armor, as I'm going to define that. Yeah, very cool stuff. Grats on ahead of the curve, by the way. And on top of this illicit table, again, more trophies, things that we've done, things that we've seen. Here's where the cutting edge trophies are going to be. Right. Let's see. And what else? Okay, so that's it for these this trophy kind of room. Oh, don't click on the chaotic void maw. Oh, I didn't even see it, actually. Oh, well, it's okay. Just don't click stuff. All good. So now we're going to go down that long hallway. Oh, it's hidden. Okay. So now we're going down to here. So now we have like this whole gallery. So here's what we saw earlier when we saw like all the different class banners. So this is more like a museum spot. So now we get to enjoy like the things that the designers bought over time. Paintings, and it's clean looking. Does a great job of making this depiction. And then all of a sudden, we're in a chapel. Ah, really tasteful. Oh, I like this. You have these very rich looking benches or pews or whatnot. And I like how this setup is made. So here we are. Here's the priest or whoever doing their homily. But then you climb up, and the way that this layout is set up, okay, actually they have their lectern right here. Okay, so here's where they're preaching the good word, right? Back here you have both celebrations of like Blood Elf, as well as like some little Draenei stuff happening too. Eriko as well. And then up top here, you have the 1, 2, 3 climb. You have the beam trim plus platforms. And there's like the good book. One good book. Yeah, neat. Very, very neat setup. Now, there is a shroud back here. So I'm kind of compelled to at least look. Ooh, okay, nothing there. All right. Have I seen everything? Have I seen what there is to see? I mean, this is a big place. We started off Pandoran stuff, and then we just went on this journey. It goes to show, like, these big places are, they're just so expansive. There's like so many themes that you can cover, and so much real estate that we have to create that opportunity. So yeah, great job on this place. One thing to one thing to point out is, the kit bashing here, it's there, but it's not like anything super crazy that was done in this case, which leaves a lot more room to have like these like bigger spaces, but also have them be filled out. The result is you have like this cleaner look to it. You have considerably less clutter. It's there. We saw some places, but it's a lot less than what you would see in other spots. And so it's just kind of up to the designer to be like, okay, how do they want to express their house? Do they want it to be, again, like this sort of like clean museum-like sort of feel, or they want it to have a lived-in sort of feel? And then of course there's everywhere in between too. And we saw a little bit of that here. So yeah, great job with this place. We're going to how do I pronounce this? Filkas. Filkas or Philippus? I think Filkas. Yeah. All right. My house is so small and cluttered that I love having this large looking game. Yeah. And so sometimes that whole desire of how you want to depict your house, a lot of the time that can be inspired by real life stuff. So that's cool. All right, I need a. Oh, actually, whoa, it's way past 10. Let me see if there's any like new stuff. So a little bit of an update on the patch stuff. Cool. Okay. All right. So, do I need to clear myself again? I should clear myself again just in case. Ooh. Okay, let me leave you at that shot, and I'll let you guys. That looks neat. I'll be right back. Yeah, honestly, I just need to breathe for a little bit. That's all. It's not creepy at all. I don't know if creepy is the word. I mean, well, we'll see. We'll see. All right, where's my stuff? Okay, there it is. All right. All right, folks, this is Filka Gaming's place. We're over in Razorwind, and I think we've run into like this sort of tribal settlement kind of thing. So we got Miss Murgles right over here, and they're red, by the way. Just want to, that might be a distinction here. So we got Horde Murgles in this spot. We have the Eye of Acarus looming overhead, staring at her butts. I mean, look at it. Yeah, it's locked in as always. And we're entering some sort of cave structure. That's probably what. Oh, wait, what's this? So we have more Murgles on this side, and these are blue, riding some Snufflesses, and they're in formation. Interesting. Interesting. So, what are they up to, though? Are they on patrol? Are the red Murgles like the red shirts? Are they just guards that are in charge? And like these Murgles are, they're the ones that are patrolling like the area around their base? Could they be enemies? Ready for an attack? I don't know. We might have a Murgle war on our hands. But yeah, we'll see. Or we might just get a glimpse of the Murgle life. Right? That could be it too. Let's head on inside. Okay, according to the notes, there are 2 outdoor rooms, and some people miss the main event. The main event. All right, let's see what that means. So when we enter the space, immediate cave. It's kind of this. It's barely being held together. It's being held up by, sticks and other beams, and we have some Murgles that are going in. Perhaps they're returning from patrol or they're on the attack. So let's see. I mean, otherwise we would have seen Murgle corpses in front of the door. So yeah, it could have been one thing or another. So we have, okay, this is going to be very, very windy. And we got a red Murgle up top and a spider tank down. So, and then there's another Murgle there. It's a red one this time. And okay, this red one is manning a defense laser. And oh boy. Oh no. All right. It's on, baby. Oh jeez. All right. The Murgle War, it's on. So the blues are invading the reds, and we'll see how the defense. I mean, so far the defense is going good, I guess. Oh, notice we have like these hosses that are climbing all the way up, like they're vining up. All right. So there's more going on here, but I do want to descend down, but since we're up here, so we have okay, dude, okay, this Murgle just used hidden technology and they just cooked that one, so that one's done. Oh, and then there's more. So this Murgle, so the blues are invading somehow, and this it's about to push a plague barrel down on them. Okay, this is escalating fast. Oh boy, I need to make sure that I cover all the angles here, because this is becoming very windy, very fast. All right, so Murgles are coming from there. They're trying to defend that spot, so we'll end up climbing down there in a bit. I think we go around here, and then we have one Murgle that's just kind of like chilling there. Maybe they're waiting to like throw barrels of explosives or something like that. And then here's the one that was up top. That was okay. Yeah. So they're about to invade up there, but he's about to push that barrel down. Down here, you have that Murgle who is they're about to get cooked, right? Like the Reds are about to like take them down. So I guess they came from this entrance here, where we have, holy cow. Oh, what? Okay. Uh, battle on, dude. So here's oh, dude, Sam. Even Sam's come to the Riz defense, and he's just like smashed like that one. So yeah, the Blues need to like definitely watch out what's in the water. Holy cow! So here's like the outside of this cave. Um, that Murgle has I think that Murgle's been there for a while. They were an earlier capture, or they're being fed to the Kraken. Could be that too. So we're climbing up a little bit. We'll follow this blue Murgle here. So yeah, so is this like a boat that's invading or what? Because it looks like no. This is okay. These are Horde Murgles. So the Reds they have officially joined the Horde. Heck yeah. Oh, but then there's of course there's like a blue faction as well. And we got all sorts of things going on. Like that dude just got Spartan kicked off and he's like falling. All right. So into oh boy. So inside Fort Murgle, they're clearly under attack. As for the fight, it seems to be like the Reds are holding off pretty well. Like he just got wow, jeez, that's brutal. That's some brutality stuff going on there. So that one is like keeping watch for like other folks who are like coming in. So he's gonna like jump somebody. Meanwhile, up top here, we got Laser Murgle over here, and then the Wyvern's just kind of watching. Are they going for any targets in the air? Are there any flying blues that are out here? No, but they're ready. They're ready to cook whoever happens to like be in their line of sight, right? So here's the one that threw the other one off, right? Something, long live the king. And up top here. So now we're pretty high up now. Now in this spot, in this last, I don't know, chamber or whatnot, it's elevated. We have the pathing through, and then we have like one more laser Murgle here. All right. So I have a feeling that the invasion is definitely going well in the Reds' favor in this spot. There aren't a whole lot of blues that are like leaking through. We'll see if that's the only front. There could be more. Oh, and then there's a way across there too. Okay, so let me see if I can kind of make my way across. Ain't done yet. But yeah, like I said, oh, jeez. I feel like the Reds defense It's going pretty smoothly so far. Pretty smoothly. So here's one that's just kind of on the lookout still. You know, checking out for like anyone who's leaked, I guess. And so right down here, so here's the one that got like shanked. We'll see what else there is to explore here. There's like a door, big old door there, but what about here? Ooh. Okay. Oh boy. Yeah, definitely. Wow, for real, dude? Wow. That's now that's a first. This is a first. Can you really waterboard a Murgle? Right? Like they're Murgles, they're Murlocs. You know, they should be fine. They're just like, whatever. So would that really be effective? This is effective, but the waterboarding, I don't know. I don't know. This is also effective. Okay, that's kind of goofy. Why is it that high up? You know, if this is some sort of weird automatic, you know, mechanical guillotine, why is it so high up? Can't they just have a switch on the ground or something like that? Oh, that's funny. And then what's this thing? Like a crane or a switch or something like that? That I can't tell. Maybe it's the thing that's lowering that thing down to the Kraken. Maybe that was it. All right. Oh, so some of you guys have seen this before? All right. Okay, we gotta see what's behind this door now. Because like I said, things are going pretty decent over in with the Reds. So yeah, things are going decent. This is just like a cool little barracks or whatnot. I mean, they're oddly large beds for what are supposed to be like just Murgles. But yeah, over in this outdoor spot, the battle's going well. The defense is on point. They got this. They got this. I don't think have we seen any red casualties at all? So far, it's just been the blues that are getting cooked. Oh, check it out. That's cute. Clouds. That's a nice little touch. Right on. All right. So I think we're finally going to make our way down-ish. Ooh, I think, oh, okay. So that's the entrance. Yeah. And so now we're back here. Okay. So we've gone pretty much back to the start. Like that was a whole journey. I think I covered everything there. We'll double check one more time. But first, here we are with the Reds, and we'll see how things are going in here. So we might be seeing like, okay, here's like the red life or not. So great cave setup, by the way. Oh yeah, great shots. Great shots. So here, oh no, the battle's going on in here too. So that one is okay. Is that really gonna work? Is that really gonna do it, guys? Because it's very adorable. Because yeah, they're Murlocs. They're not gonna drown, dude. Now this does have a sort of like cinematic, this sort of melancholy feel to it. So imagine, right? Imagine these are two friends once upon a time. Murgle, I called you brother. You know, how dare you betray me? And then the other Murgle's like, I'm a girl. I'm not your brother. And then they're just going at it, but they're, you know, childhood friends. They knew each other for years. They thought that they would be friends. They thought they would rise above the war, but no. In the silence of this cave, you know, under like the bastion of the light, one Murgle drowns the other in defense of their home because they're blue. And blue is bad. According to them, at least, right? Because propaganda, that's real, man. That's real. So let's cross through. We got one Reptar. We don't know what reptars mean quite yet. We saw one sleeping on the bed. We see one walking around. That's about it. But we got to see what else is going on in the defense of the red Murgles. So up there, there's looks like this little ledge. Let's see what's going on up here. So climb up, and what do we have? So here's General Murgle and their lieutenant. They got plans for the defense of Fort Murgle, and plans for Gilneas too, because that's how it goes, right? Now what's going on around this corner here? Here we have okay. So okay, they're mounts. All right. So we got Reptar mounts. They're armoring up. They're getting ready for war. Oh, and then so here he is. So okay, so here you go. Those are the two friends, right? You know, Red took down his brother / sister. This one was just kind of making sure he actually does it, right? Because if not, because then he'd be a damn traitor. And he's like, "Come on, brother, you better take her down. You know, show him your true loyalties. If not, I'm gonna bring you down myself." Right? So a lot of drama happening here, dude. This is intense. All right. So let's see how else the battle fares. Blues are getting they're getting tore up. Yeah, definitely tore up. All right, so here's the beach invasion. All right. So again, we have horde branding. Very interesting. Horde branding happening there. And yeah, the Blues, they just got shut the heck down. So I think what's going on here is that this is cleanup. This is a cleanup before they retaliate. So here's Supervisor Murgle making sure that their reptars are doing a good job. I mean, look at the satisfaction on their face. They are so pleased with the work that they've done training these reptars to be efficient killers of blues, right? Good work. Good work. You know, here's another supervisor making sure that stuff's being done. And you know what? It looks like here they're off to war. Check out the boat work on this thing. This is pretty sick too. and how is this made up? A bunch of tables, windows, couple of pipes to act as like cannons, more tables to make the surface here. You know, we climb up. We have just a simple deck that's up here. Right on. Cool. But otherwise, if we zoom out, we have like this cool spread. This depiction of like, okay, here's the beach. Here, where chances are, once the battle's over, the Murgles, they're gonna load up, and then they're gonna go after the Blues. They're gonna teach them a lesson. Maybe. All right. I don't know if okay, so there are 2 outdoor rooms, and some people missed the main event. I have a feeling that the first room that we saw was the main event, because that was like the more active battle scene going on. Crazy though. I don't know if they're here in chat, but I think I've seen everything. I think we'll take a look at the upstairs area again just one more time, you know, just in case. But I mean, the budget is being considerably eaten up by the layout. The rock work here is excellent. Big, expansive spot. Yeah, the caves are great. Big fan of caves whenever we see this being done. Yeah, so like, yeah, it was like a 0 casualty defense. So well done. Well done, Reds. Oh, actually, wait, no, there's some more. They're like, so those guys, they're on their way, but they're done. They have no chance. I don't think they realize just how bad this battle went for them. You could almost say they half-assed it. It's like, yo, what happened, guys? Where's your resolve? Where is your resolve? I almost want this to be the shot. You know, I loved you. You were like a brother to me. Boom. And then they just hit the water and then they're fine because they're so small that the impact won't even hurt them. Like a good breeze will make them just kind of like yeet off into the distance, right? So falling doesn't even mean anything. You know, this dude's like, welcome to my town. Boom. Oh, man. This reminds me of like for those of you who remember, you remember oh shoot, what's his name? I don't remember the name, unfortunately. But there was like the whole Reptars versus Snuffles. Oh, that was epic. That one was I think they had like a couple hundred of each of Reptars and Snuffles. You had Reptars that were riding on top of Snuffles. You had them being impaled. They were being burned. You had like air attack. Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. I love these. These are just so much fun. They are tons of fun to go through. I want the follow up because we saw them. They're loading up. The res. They're loading up. They're going after the blues. They're out. They're out for revenge. They want to show them like, okay, we'll show you how it's done, right? All right, let's head over to the next spot, number 8. Very gory too. Like some of those dudes, that dude that got speared up the butt. Like, yeah, dude. Rules of engagement or something. All right. So the listed budget on that previous place was about 3,400. So I think that's like a level 8, 7 or 8, something like that. So still pretty high. Not as high as like 43 something. So that's going to be, imagine if they had more to work with. But it wasn't like too much. Let me double check, make sure I hit the right place again. Number 8, right? Number 8. All right, cool. We good. We good. All right, folks, welcome to Moon Zuffer's place. We're over in Razorwind, and we have this like immediate like glow up of some Herondar stuff, which is quite nice. Let's take a look at the spread. So we have this very wide open spot. No fences necessary. It's not like anything, you can't get a whole lot of growth around here anyway, which kind of makes sense. The house itself, yeah, this nice little dress up like the big windows. You don't see those too often. There's an attached porch right over here, made for one thing, not for walking up, but for jumping into the hot tub. All right. So kind of a signature spot of this place. And great views too. Sun's out. Everything's looking great. I gotta have sunglasses on, otherwise like I'm done. Places to wash off, sit, vibe, hang out together, and all that. And then over here, okay, what's this over here? We have a whole crowd of Murgles and Snuffles, some of which are in a barrel. Okay. So are they coming in? Are they going out? Is this another like invasion? We just saw a place that was like a whole like Murloc invasion kind of thing. Or they're playing a game. Maybe there's like a basketball game happening and they're all showing up and they're all going to play. That'd be sweet. That would be sweet. Well, we have that sort of depiction. Very nice. As for the back of the place, yeah, not too much else on the greens, but again, admiring the porch area that was set up. You know, you start off with the platforms, but you also have this base of, oh boy, what's the name again? Oh, shucks, the Night Elf beams. There we go. Calderai beams. Let's go with that. All right, so let's go inside and see what is up. You're saying it's a staging ground for the invasion? All right, so the budget on this place is also like a little bit on the smaller side. Doesn't really mean anything, but it's a little bit on the smaller side. So if anything, it just kind of gives me a sense of like how much walking I might be doing. Maybe. I have been surprised before. I've been very, very wrong before. But as soon as we go in, you know, we have this nice, pleasant entrance to get us inside. Greens are kind of bursting out on the spot, at least over the entrance. But we have some more greens that are vining around the area. I like this setup. We have this immediate aquarium. And check out the way it's dressed. We kind of have this sort of like scaly looking, you know, vertical presentation. Different tables that are being set up and, you know, being layered in a certain way to create the shape. I think that's pretty neat. As for what's inside, we have one lobster and that's it. So it's a lobster tank. Cool. We'll see if anyone like actually eats here or whatnot. But we have a very wide open, very spacious spot set up. Back here is where you can kind of like lean back. You have your own kind of like personal spot to like vibe, do your thing. But around the more gathery areas, you're not really leaning back, but you know, you have places to otherwise relax, kick your feet up, lay down, be on the side, and all that. Yeah, nice glows that are in each of these spots. So like here, it feels like very exclusive in this particular spot. You know, I'm laying down right here. We have like a nice yellow glows on this side. Here, it feels a bit much. It feels cooler. I think that's the good word to use. It's a cooler spot right over here. So we got places to the left and right, and probably the center. Let me just double check really quick. And yep. So, okay, that looks kind of closed off enough. So we're gonna go in a different. We're gonna do something different. We're gonna go right first, then the middle, then the left. Ooh, it's gonna be a weird one. so we walk into this bar area. Huge countertop, by the way. It's like semi-elevated. We have these lower stools, and then here's how I sit, kind of to the side, which is kind of a whoopsie. But then we still have a very, very tall sort of table set up. So this is like the big kids bar. Okay. Big kids bar is right here. And we got big things, big countertops, huge shelves. I mean, huge enough that we can just go with like notice how all we're using here are crates. Crate. And then it's skinned along the top with different platforms. Except for, actually no, including here, right above the grill. Yeah. So it's actually pretty smart because we have like this cool texturing happening on its own. So I think that works out pretty decently. And it gives the builder like a little bit more leeway as to like, okay, how do I want to shape this? It's like, okay, here I'll put a cabinet here or something like that. You know, so it allows for like that sort of freedom. Notice the countertop work that's also being done on top of the bar as well. So you have like room for your feet and all that. But also you have like a nice, you know, well-designed top for this counter. As for the kitchen itself, you know, like I said, you know, you have like it's being assembled with like a bunch of these crates, but also you got this good spread of food. Stuff's being prepped, bucket of who knows what. You have some storage up top. I need to get that coffee. It's really high up there because I want to get some more. As we go across, we're washing stuff. We have a bit more storage for like things like wine and what have you. And then here's the spread. Nice little dining spread. Note the colors. You know, we have a pretty strong theme of like the very deep blackish color. We have this deep black and white going on. Cool. So that is the dining area. And as we go across here, we'll go into this spot where we hit some faction propaganda. So who is being best represented here? I don't know. It's a very both sides kind of house. We got some horde paraphernalia, some branding. Of course, we have the war chief chair. Very, very iconic. And on the other end, oh, there's no alliance chair. Sad. Because, you know why? You know why they don't have an alliance chair? They have better self-esteem than the horde do. You know, we got to have our giant chair and feel really big in front of like the people below us. Alliance don't need that. Sorry, guys. I had to expose the other truth there. All right. So, faction-related stuff, but also they wanted to hide it. They wanted to hide their own faction pride, one way or another. So, interesting. Interesting. From a psychological perspective. All right, so we're going to the left side now, which, you know, we see a stairwell room, and oh, what an interesting sock, as I call it. You know, anything that has a pillar that goes around it, I call it a sock. And in this case, very interesting setup that I have here, using the whole fountain and this platform to be like, okay, boop, right there. So it almost tells me that there might be more to it, but it doesn't appear so. If anything, this is all helping to juice up that one filigree light right over there. And we have a nice pile of them like down there too to help dress up that street lamp. You want me to click it? Okay. Whoa. Okay, so that's cool. Simply a cool effect. Very cute. Oh, notice here we have all of a sudden enchanted floor. We'll make this climb up. Check out the greens that are being set up here. Minimal, but, you know, tastefully done. So I noticed here. Okay, yeah, those arches are already there. Okay, so that's fine. We continue to climb up. Now we have like suddenly Necrolord stuff going on up here. A little bit of Death Knight flavor as we reach the top. Usually, so it's kind of interesting. You know, downstairs, secret room, Horde and Alliance branding, right? It's almost like the character who lives here is like kind of a turncoat. You know, they play both sides. It's like, oh, where am I going? I'm working myself out to the Horde today. All right, cool. Let me grab my headband and my guitar. Cool, let's rock it for the Horde. And like in another moment, they're gonna go in. Oh, let me get my, I don't know, my flag, and let me get my white flag and represent the alliance or something like that. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. All right, so we go into this room, a vaulted room, by the way. And we have like this wild set of collections, including the Eye of Akros, which has been captured. It got tooked, it got chained up, and now it's available for study. So what they're doing, okay, so here's what's happening here. Right? We have the book going, we have the lectern going. This is like some AI modeling that's happening here. They're studying it, and then it's being fed into their little thing. As for what purpose, I haven't thought that far ahead yet. So aside from that, you know, in this corner, chemistry stuff is happening. Big experiments, you know, big enough that you need like collectible gauges to kind of like understand what's going on. More on these big collections, you know, like notice how we have like big animated stuff to help bring a little bit more life and quirkiness into this particular room. Right here in the center, you know, it seems like kind of a chill spot because it's like, okay, I'm invited to kind of like sit down, read stuff and all that in front of this shaman fire. And then we have two options. We're going to go this way. Ooh, It almost looked like the wyvern woke up as soon as I opened the door, and he's like, "What?" And then he would just start charging towards me like that, and then I'd be done. So we've entered the bedroom, which is not theirs. I think the wyvern owns this room now. It's like, okay, the boss is away. He's like, no, I'm going to be here now. This is my spot. That's very cute. And I think that lion had his own like little spot for himself. Actually, no, it's a little puppy. Yeah. So a little puppy gets their place. So like the cats, they get to kind of stay up there and do their thing. It is a bedroom though. We do have some growth around the spots. Little gnome staring at us. Places to get dressed, warm ourselves up, relax, have a smoke, of course. But then I want to see if we can find a bathroom in here. Bathroom? Looks like it. Very spacious bathroom, by the way. And we have, I'm going to go straight here. We have like this huge shower setup. Oh boy, that's really nice. Very comfortable. You can fit like, you can fit a raid team in here. So this is the raid shower room, but you only have like one waterfall spout, which that part kind of sucks. Wait, you can fit a ton of people in here. And otherwise, like chill kind of vibe inside the warmth and everything. Any bathtub? Yeah, no bathtub here. That's not necessary. Just don't slip and fall, because you know that's a big thing. That's a big deal. Make sure you dry it up. Here is your toilets, complete with a very simple cushion seat setup. But I enjoy the vanity here. Now this is nice, very clean. Now it's being contrasted a little bit, or it's being clashed a little bit. I guess that's a better choice of words. It's being clashed a bit by the warped beams here, because otherwise the countertop is super smooth. This is using canvas things, and this is expensive too. 1500. This is 4,500 gold just to make like this whole countertop setup. But they did it, and it's pretty. Yeah, has some nice glows to it and everything. So let's retreat now. Back to the bedroom. Hello, cat. Sorry, don't mean to startle you. Don't want any trouble. And now I have like this option here. And now, we have this transition hallway, which I'm sure is partially here because of the layout. They needed to have some space in order to make this outdoor room. And then, this opens up. It's a big old greenhouse. This is big. Oh, wow. All right, let's go right on in and see what's going on. Okay, this is a great depiction. Like the way the blue lights, the way that they, come out and then reflect back in, really brightens up the space is perfect. This is like a very definitive sort of like greenhouse effect because, of course, you want to have light coming in every direction. And while it's not exactly literally coming from every direction, the way it reflects back in, it lights up every corner. Without a whole lot of room for things like inconvenient things like shadows, like ill. So you have like this really nice greenhouse setup here. Now, here's the thing though. They're also painting. So it's like, I'm not a big plant person, but I don't know if it's a great idea to have like, depending on how these paints are set up, this is Warcraft, but Warcraft has chemicals too. I don't know. Like, is it good for the plants? Is it a good idea to have that set up? Because while they did depict this as a greenhouse, I think there's a lot more work that they put into doing some painting and all that. So it's kind of like, when they built this house, they were telling their spouse, like, yeah, dude, it's going to be a great greenhouse. It's going to be awesome. You're going to love it. You'll get to do so much with your plants and blah, blah, blah. And what did they do? They carved out nearly half of it for like painting. And like, here's like what they have. Here's the space that they left for like the greenhouse stuff. And so the spouse is like, you told me that you're going to get off all this artist crap because it's not making any money. And what did you do? You took my project and you turned it into your thing. Oh my God. You only think, yeah, I can see that. Yep. And so that's why he had to like hide his whole Horde Alliance thing, because he might be ashamed of that too. I don't know if it's Guy or not, actually, but they might be ashamed of that too. So I think with this couple, I don't even know if there's a couple. They got some stuff to work out in this otherwise really cool looking greenhouse setup. And it's simple too. Beams, windows, done. That's a lot of work though. You know, because they did 2 layers of beams here. They went through the trouble of like lining all that stuff up. Same thing with the windows, getting all the angling right and everything. You know, and it's really clean. It is very clean. Doesn't solve their problems, but really clean. And we do have some flower boxes in the out here on the side too. We have them being set up with just tables. Yeah, just table setups that are helping that happen. And we do have some planting work happening, just not inside really. It's mostly outside. So you know what? In fairness, this could be a case where they did a lot of growing, and now it's like ready to go. And now they're replanting outside. You know what I mean? So it could be that. It could be that. We're doing a lap around the greens here. Really pretty setup. Oh, interesting. So I am, I'm not too certain what sort of texture is being used here to transition us back in. So that's a wall. I mean, it could be a mirror. Is it actually just the wall? I guess it is just the wall. Huh. Oh, you know what it is? It's the shadows. The shadows are giving because they're so close, because this structure here, the street lamps, they're so close to the wall that it is, you know, creating this sort of like different texture to it. So I think that's what's kind of throwing me off. Okay, I'll take that. Yeah, cool greenhouse. And let's do a jog, because I think we have gone through the whole place. So let's take a like I said, quick jog. Bathroom there, big bathroom by the way. Bedroom plus Wyvern, who now owns the house. Stairwell room, climbing down, greens. Here is the Horde Line stuff and the place to eat. All right, cool. Boop. Yeah, cool spot. I really did like the greenhouse. I know I was just making fun, but I do that all the time anyway. So, all right, we've got one more spot. Cornbread at 41. Let's go. Man, like visits have been like banger after banger. There's yeah, the scale is getting just crazy. Ooh. Oh, what is that? Okay, I don't remember this when I did my check. Oh no. Okay, I do. Yeah, it's weird getting in there, but yeah, wild. All right, double check new stuff. All right. All right, folks, welcome to Cornbread's place. We're over in Founders, but are we? Because we have this crazy blood-soaked structure before us. It feels like the whole thing is like made of bone, right? Because you can kind of see. Okay, let's try to deconstruct. Okay, we got Eye of Acaricises or Eye of Acari. Um, we have what I think is the house sunken in. Did they manage to sink the house in a little bit? I think they did. Because right here, like, notice that beam right there? That's part of the Calderai house. So are those. That's crazy. You also have these storage, these storage structures for the drain eye. You have puddles of blood being strewn about. So it's almost like this Death Knight thing that landed. Something like that. What a crazy setup though. And then you have beams to set up like kind of like spine. Yeah, it's like a spinal a three-headed spinal column, and then here's like rib cages. That is gruesome, dude. Yeah. And then the front of the house is what I believe to be like a void table. Yeah, void altar of sorts. And then that is, yeah, that's the front door. That's crazy. Because it does definitely look like the house was like sunk into the ground, which I wasn't sure if that's possible. Maybe it's just possible with keyboard commands or something like that, but this looks sick. And it's mostly because you can sink the house in and like the whole scale of the house, you know, it usually looks a certain way. In this case, they're able to get away with like sinking it in and then making something entirely different. So that's pretty awesome. That's really cool. Now, as for what's inside, let's see what sort of bloody mess we're going to encounter. Like a whole. Whoa. What is this, dude? This, wow. Oh, man. Uh. Dude, we're an Ice Crown Citadel or something like that. Oh, that's so sick. Wow, man. Holy moly. Oh, ooh, this is going to be a treat. This is going to be a treat. Wow, dude. Dude, I'm going to be saying that word a lot because, yeah, dude. So we're in what definitely feels like this whole Ice Crown Citadel sort of thing. So it's going to be blues and whites all around, man. Like, check out the usage of rugs that are all around the spots to help color the space. Check out what I believe are upside down void tables. You can kind of see the structuring there, or it's some sort of something like that because we don't see table legs, so this is something else. But yeah, we're seeing these being used to kind of skin the border in here. Let's start with the floor though. Oh man, we're gonna be here for a bit. So here we are on ground floor. We have Dractyr crystals just lined up all over the place. Really helps to bring the vibe in. Too bad that they move. Um, we have this Death Knight. We have, okay, that's just a weapon rack. What am I talking about? There's the entrance right there. So we're portaled in. And then we have, oh, cool. We have the Sylvanas or the Forsaken branding right up there. And I think we're going to be climbing up a whole ton of Forsaken fence posts and fences. Oh, that's sick, dude. Oh, that is so much. That is so much. So here on the side, so here again is like the table work, again with the banners to help with the branding, and then like just a little casual execution right over here. Very nice. Frozen blood. That I'm sure that comes off really easily. Right up here, this sort of like altar setup. Wait, no, it's a chair. So we're invited to sit. Just a cozy reading spot. You know, no big deal. No big deal at all. Okay, with my transmog, I feel kind of at home. Nice. Very cool. As in cold. All right, so we're going to start the climb. And we're climbing up like these like pillars. Big old white silver moon pillars. As we climb up this... Okay, this is like the most dangerous staircase ever. Well, I mean, look at it. You have spikes coming out. You have to be like so careful how you walk. If you swing your leg the wrong way, you're going to impale your own foot. It's crazy. Yeah. Oh wow. Just the way that the trouble they went through to like skin like this whole setup, and we got a long climb. I don't know how high this goes, but yeah, they went through considerable work to make sure that these uh that the spiral goes up evenly. So we reached the first landing. Oh, really cool effect here. So these are filigree lights. You know, y'all see me use those quite a bit. But then they're clipped in to create, you know, this kind of like interesting pattern where they look almost like rune glyphs or something like that. They're not, but you know, I think it's a neat effect. Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. You know, notice how you have like the extra kinds of paving stones to help create the whole cracked ice effect. Even the way the rug rolls are, like even though it's not like a perfect clip, it's not a perfect clip, but you do feel like that whole sense of like, okay, it's like this whole like icy structure of sorts. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, we still got, I think another level or two to go. But first, we got to go through here. Let's see where we're portaled into. Boop. Second portal. Boop. Woo. All right, so we've entered the octagon. We have a horde flag. We have the other people's flag. And there's been some fighting. Yeah, so it's basically an arena, right? Two fighters enter, only one leaves, that sort of thing. With pretty much no cover. You know, you have like these dragon heads that, for all we know, they animate and they just like chomp you if you stay idle for too long and all that. Thing to reveal stealth, power ups. Yeah, so it has that you know, different kind of like ring of blood sort of setup. Or perhaps this is like where where captured fighters are brought in, and it's like, yeah, you want to fight for your freedom, you got to kill the other person. They're like, no problem. I got no issue with that. So, oh god, now that's gruesome. It has the whole feel of blood coming out from the entire room. Like, so whatever's in there, it's barely containing the mess that's in here. That's really pleasant. So in we go to, whoa, wow. So we're in the rib cage of sorts. Holy, ooh, 1600 stadia. Not sure what that means, but yeah, this is wholesome. Now, as we're walking through, I notice we're going through fountains. We're going through upside down fountains because it's a narrow walkway. You can see the clipping here, by the way. It's a narrow walkway. So you don't need to worry too much about, like, here, I don't think I can like twist this enough and like reveal the fountains below, but yeah. Razorwind fountains. Am I sunk into the ground? Yes, I am a little bit. Yeah. So there's the floor, but whatever. I think it's because remember, we're like knee deep in blood. So no, I'm not sunk into the ground at all. This is intended It's gross. This is so gross. Okay, 1600 stadia is a distance mentioned in Revelation 14:20, representing the extent of blood flowing from a symbolic winepress of God's wrath. Not the kind of thing definitely not the thing I expected here. But yeah, this is a good depiction. You're walking through it. Ugh. So part of me was thinking too, like, okay, maybe they couldn't sync it all the way in because of, rule breaking, clipping issues and stuff. But dude, this is getting eerie. Oh, that's so creepy. That is so creepy. Ugh. And it's like pulsing too. This is like nightmare crap happening, man. Ugh. So, oh, that's it. That's the whole thing. It's just the hallway. Oh man. What a traumatic hallway setup, dude. So, fountains up and down and all around. So there's a lot of fountains being used. And forsaken fenceways. Yeah. Yeah, very, very creepy. And so notice that we transition from like these fences to the whole rib cage kind of thing, which is ugh. Ugh. Okay, what is that? Some sort of pulsing thing, but creepy. Really, really creepy. And then these are footsteps. So the footsteps they're leading out. And that's okay, so we left the pool. Hey. Yeah, there was a face at the end, but I couldn't like walk through it or anything. It's just creepy. This is the way that I'm looking at this. All right, so we return to the frozen north. We have a little bit more to climb here. What a horror show, dude. I still got blood on my feet. Hell, I can get more blood on my feet because of the way that these stairs are made up. So as we continue this climb, oh, big chains. Oh, big old eye. Okay. So I'm pretty sure the clipping is okay. I should be able to probably walk through this. No, I can't. I gotta walk around it. All right. So we have reached the top. We made it. Hey. And at the top here, again, we have all the skinning here with like different paving stones. And again, like just the whites all around. Very meticulous work with creating this climb and skinning this entire tower of sorts. That's a lot. That is a lot. So now we're going through another portal. And now what do we have? Now we have, okay, one more portal set. And then, whoa, wow. Oh, that's dope. That's hella cool, dude. Yeah, that is epic. So now we have this whole depiction of the frozen throne, which looks sweet. This looks sweet. I remember Preach and his team, I think Chunky Ninja's the name. He made his own depiction of the frozen throne, which was fantastic. I think they were trying to go for a one-to-one recreation of sorts. This is a different sort of vision that we're seeing here. Oh wow, that's sick, dude. That's so sick. We got the spikes. We got the fire coming out. Oh wow. And then right up here, we have what might be a throne? Can't tell. That is the Horde Warlord's throne. Okay, so we're invited to. Okay, it says I can click on it, but I don't even know where the seat is. Okay, I am inside. Actually, wait. There I am. Oh, there we go. Yes. Oh, that's sick. That's cool, dude. So here's the zoom out. attempt to zoom out. Yeah. So good, dude. Wow. Okay, I'm trying to get like where's like a good shot. I think I gotta pan out for this thing. Oh yeah, dude, that thing looms. Like these eyes can just like laser you in the face and you're done. Or the actual eye. That would do the work too. That's so what a sweet place, dude. So creepy too. And I think that's the whole place. Yeah. So the budget here is 3175. So it's not like super high, but it does leave room for a lot of pieces. Tons and tons of pieces. And it shows. Like it was for the budget that they have for their level, it's filled out. Like they are full. They have no room for additional stuff really. But what they did here is like fantastic. Really, really good. This was just creepy as heck. I gotta go one more time and look at it again though. Like, ooh. And when someone asked, like, "Oh, are you clipping through?" That's when I realized why. No, no, no. This is this is blood. I'm actually wading through it. Ah, that's gross, dude. Yeah, so I'm not gonna be able to go behind it. There's no clickies or nothing like that. It's just creepy. Now notice here, or I notice how it seems to get slightly more narrow. Maybe I'm tripping, but it almost looks like it's getting more narrow. Just a bit though. Pretty subtle. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Very well done though. Very, very well done. And that's it for the week. Hey, we've gone through all 20. Sick. And since I've already filled out the queue for everyone out for next week, I can start vetting, pretty soon already. I can have the schedule out like a little bit early, which is awesome. All in all, good week. I'm very, very happy that I was able to, recover and then make up for lost ground by making sure everyone's visits were covered. And I'd like to think that I came at it with the energy that I'm used to. So very sweet, very cool. As for anything else, like, is there anything that I needed to prep for like the patch? I don't think so. Like I did the questing things, right? Let me just go there real quick. Oh, but yeah, thanks as always for the folks who sign up to have me visit their place. I hope that I, give it the attention that it deserves. I know sometimes I miss things and all that, or sometimes I'll just get all weird with the storytelling and other ranty stuff. But boy, is it fun! It has been fun. Yeah, this week was great. I don't think I've ever had like a bad week. There's always like it's fun seeing a little bit into what other players do, but it's a sometimes we'll see like really exceptional treats, and you know what I mean. Like I try to be a kind of like even handed and be like, no, I love all the visits that we do, but like some of them are just like crazy. I'm like, whoa, crap. You see like these wild imaginings of stuff, and they're it's so fun to like check them all out. Okay, yeah, so we're at 5 out of 5. So the expectation is that next week we'll do things, and then we'll be able to get to six. We'll be able to get to 6, and then that will complete the quest. And then after that, something will give us the extra roll tokens. That's what it is. Storytelling is what makes it good. Thank you. A lot of the time I'm just pulling stuff out of my butt, but sometimes those stories they kind of tell themselves too. Said I never signed up. Got persuaded. The law was fun to have the visit. Cool. Yeah, wasn't that this week, or yesterday or the day before? Yeah. Yeah, so I always encourage folks, yeah, definitely sign up. We're not here to like judge or anything like that. Like people will notice though. Real talk. People will notice when it's like when I don't have a lot to say about something. It's not bad. It's just, there it is. It kind of like speaks for itself. And but then other times when it's like, ooh, check out the kid bashing on this. And then we can like look at that. And sometimes it's not even so much like what is being presented, but sometimes like the layout of things can be just crazy. The way that rooms can like kind of like dance and then come together, or the way people will set up their flooring. A lot of times, when we see that sort of efforts, it really pays off. Like some of that's really, really impressive. House is next week. Can't wait because hopefully we'll get more people to sign up who think their house is too basic and simple. I mean, dude, we were just looking at like there was the end of the day at that one place that was just like a one room apartment. And they said it like it was a joke, but I really liked it because it had like such a strong realistic depiction of a one room apartment, with very minimal stuff, like a bachelor sort of spot. And I thought that was awesome. That's really cool. The one room house was cool. One room house was amazeballs. Um, the visits that I did with the cozy keep. So the plan is I'm trying to release those a little bit faster. So I'm prioritizing those, and I slotted those where you'll get their visits on a Monday and a Friday. So tomorrow you should see something from the Cozy Keep people on the Around Azeroth channel. The I think today I put in Brox's. That was the one that had like the really cool orc stuff with the crazy save, and it had like that giant garage head towards the end of it. Uh, so I'm trying to put out more of the recent stuff sooner wherever I can. Um, Not because the earlier houses were not as good, but I think but what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to draw more viewers in and show off like some of the more recent stuff where there's like all these new pieces and people have learned people have learned new techniques and whatnot. Because I do look back at some of the early visits, and like the way that you see the kit bashing, it's great and everything, but you've seen players become way more sophisticated at how they put things together, because either because there's new pieces that people have figured out how to piece together, or someone just figured out a technique and it was awesome, and then people are like picking up on it. So seeing how it's really cool, because I have like this whole archive of like, here's like early housing and here and early visits and how things have looked, and then how it's like evolved, um, among folks who are like definitely housing enthusiasts. Because if you're watching, or if you're building and showing stuff off, like you're very much an enthusiast at a certain level. You enjoy this a lot more than other folks in this game. Just like how there are some people who really enjoy doing keys and enjoy doing raids and stuff like that. So uh, I really want to try harder at making the whole feel of housing endgame be like a thing that we can enjoy. That's kind of the whole point. Hi, Miss Annie. My house is big, but layout's not confusing. It's crazy. Like some layouts get like wild. I'm like, okay, like we see plenty of configurations where you have like, okay, here's like the foyer, like here's like the centerpiece, and then you have things like branch out into like other things. Other places though, they will link them together. So it's like here's like one square, and then above it is another square, and to the side square. So you have like this whole grid of like 9 squares, and that can become like super disorienting, especially if those big square rooms, if they're being further carved out into like more rooms, and then things get really windy. And it's cool, it is very cool, But when I'm trying to, when I'm trying to explore, I'm like kind of like racking my brain. I'm like, okay, did I go that way? Did did I totally throw myself off? It's kind of hard to tell. So, YouTube keeps giving me 1,000 videos. I've gotten so many ideas from. Nice, 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 nice. Yeah, I'm trying to do better at making the of getting better impressions and just making the Around Azeroth channel like bigger and more exposed. I'm trying to experiment a little bit more with thumbnails. I have some more I have shorts that are going to be coming out very shortly to help get some exposure to that for people who happen to just kind of like thumb scroll through YouTube and stuff. My house makes no sense spatially, but I like making stuff for me, my husband, whatever. Yeah, and that's what it first is, right? Housing is you. It's not a competition that you're trying to enter. It's not a you're not trying to prove anything to anyone but yourself. Yeah, that's really all that is. So, and that's the whole fun of this thing, dude, is that there's no real like wrong way to go. There is no end to it. Um I think the one thing that I try to emphasize for folks is not that there's no end to it, but to help people get started because it's very intimidating. People will, we've seen a lot of folks be like, "Oh, I thought I was going to get really excited with the housing, but I bought the house, or I laid down a couple things and I haven't touched it since because maybe their interest wasn't really there after all, or life happens, things happen, or it might be a mechanical related thing like, oh, I really don't like how long it takes me to like earn all the things, or I don't like how long, I don't like that whole journey to at least get stuff so I can actually throw things down. But we can sort of compare that to the regular game too. We see plenty of folks who are like, dude, all I want to do is like high-end keys, but I have to go through all this trouble to get all my Azeroth gear updated and to get my borrowed power thing set up, or I need those best in slot trinkets and yada yada yada, and then I could really play the game. It's kind of the same difference here. There's a certain journey that we travel as we build ourselves up and we create this foundation, and now we can start doing things. Um, the thing is with housing, it's the way the reward flow works, it's very different. It's not something that we've really seen before. And some people are like, it's supposed to be just fun. We're supposed to just get everything. But part of the journey too is also building up that massive collection of who knows what kind of garbage you have piled up and then laying it all out. So just like anything, it's a game. Did you miss the visits? Unfortunately, yes. We're going to be wrapping things up in just a bit. I might actually end stream a little bit early, so because we managed to get through them like fairly fast. The last two places were pretty fast, so usually the visits have been around around 30 minutes or so, something like that. And in this case, they happen to be a little bit less. You know what? I'm going to do a surprise visit. I'm going to go or just randomly check out a few guildmates places. So I'm sure most of them are closed. Last I checked, a bunch of them were closed, but that's okay. I wanna see if I can. Let's see if anyone happens to have their place open anyway. I only have one character. I want something realistic, cozy, and simple. I wanted something you can put in game as an NPC house or pull it out in the real world, and it would make sense. All right. So, random house. I'll just look for a place that looks like it's not, unbuilt. Actually, my house looks unbuilt, so. Primo's place. Nope. Whose place is this? This is Tiny Void. I don't know who that is. Who's Tiny Void? Oh, Tiny. That is, I think that's Dreamheart's friend. Yeah, so nothing crazy, not much in here. And I have looked at a few guildmates places here on the visits too. Visited Fells, visited Falcors, visited Sonatas, and crap, name fart. Jared's place. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, what did they say? Can I check your place as just like one living and dining area? Well, you can, I guess. I mean, yeah, if it's just a really small spot. Um, so I guess I'm not going yet. Which place am I going to? 20 or 7? 20 it is. So 1 living and dining area. By the way, the living area is 7 floors. And all right. Spontaneous visit. Let's go. This is Karina's place. We're over in Founders. We have a plain exterior, as they had said. So I don't need to look around. Let's see what we got going on inside. So, small place as we wrap things up for the week. Ooh. Oh my. So we are. Is this monochrome? Okay, it almost has this monochrome look to it. Ooh. So we go in. Oh, wow. Okay, so we have this dark vibe already. Razorwind benches, fences. We have the bed shroud that's there. Okay, what I love about this is how it's super grayed up. And then the color just pops. You're fully directed into like looking at these things. That's neat. Very ominous too. It almost looks as if the sun was shining down and then this is like illuminated, but it's not. This is just like some sort of upside down structure of sorts. And we have void table stars. So it's almost like we're in a moving ship. Ooh, that's disorienting. Oh wow. Yeah, that's neat. And then back here we have this great looking diorama, sort of like the sort of like 3D painting. Very simple with the setup. You know, you have one of those Herondar green field looking things flipped onto its side to serve as kind of the background. Rocks, greens, fountains, lampposts, and a little bit more. Yeah, really cool. Really tight setup. Yeah, really good. And the whole place is is skinned and dressed in a certain way. Like you notice here, you have like razorwind benches like all over the place. But what I'm really wowed at right now is the whole like the way the black and white just kind of pop, or the way the black and white they just kind of hug everything. And you have like these little tiny like bursts of color, so it makes it really stand out. Very artful. And then it's not. So let's go back. All right. In this spot, though, we do have a bit more color because we have like the fireplace going. But here, let me see what happens when I turn off this brazier. Nope, I end up sitting on it. So let me try again. Nope, let me try again. I want to turn that thing off, dude. If I can. Nope, I don't think there's any chance of that. No, we're stuck. Actually, can I sit and then click on it? Maybe? Perhaps? Nope. What if I sit on that one? Nope. What I wanted to do was like turn that off so I can like black and white this thing again. But anyway, let's go back here again. So, again with the tight, with the mostly black and whites. Love the work here. You know, using the multiple looks like multiple trellises. But then we also have the mirror and window work right on the side. And then here we have like this kind of like entertainment set where it's as if it's like a TV, but it's also like a window into space, which is like just crazy. I love it. How's the TV done? It's a void table. There's like a certain void table that you can find in Void Storm. Not very expensive, but you embiggen the thing and it has this cool effect. Yeah, really nice. How like how I did the back of the couch? Oh yeah, because we have like multiple chairs. Check it. So actually, well, it's not even a couch. So we start off with a bench, right? So here's like one bench, and here they used trellises to make the backboard. In this case, once again, we have this bench style, and then we have 3 chairs that are doing it too. So great shapes that we have here. Yeah, really well done. Cool clock right up there too. Yeah, it's a very elegant looking fireplace. Too bad I can't turn the lights off. And then back here, mysterious. We'll leave that alone. I'm guessing back there, same thing too. Yeah, so this is a great start. Dude, this could be done. We can just call this done. Be like, yo, you want to have like this cool presentation of stuff? Like, here we go. Neat. I kind of want to see someone take a bunch of these tables because this might not be just one table. So check this out. Watch the stars carefully and see where they don't come out. You know, you can see where they pass through, but you see where they end too. So you have 1, 2, 3, you have 4 tables actually, not just like the 2. But of course the effect is still there. Really sick. That's really sick looking. I wonder if we can pull off like a whole hallway like this. You know, you'll have like this oh yeah, that'd be sick, dude. You're going down like this very, very narrow hallway. You have like minimal beams or whatnot to kind of skin the clipping to make sure that those are obscured, but you're just walking through it. That must feel so disorienting. And cool. That'd be really neat. All right. So thanks for showing me your place. Nice quick visit. But yeah, with that, lunchtime. So I'm gonna head out. I got a weekly to write. There are, a couple of topics that I want to bring up and invite folks in for a conversation. But for now, I want to thank you once again for inviting me over to your place or inviting us over to your places so that we can visit places around Azeroth. Got to keep that branding in. And off I go. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day and weekend, and I'll see y'all for the next thing.